you had a brief romance with the defendant.
They met on a softball team, but love struck out.
You would lend him, according to your papers, around $1,500.
Correct.
I was really never in dire straits for money.
I don't care if you bought $350 worth of bubble gum. When are women going to wise up? You don't know somebody 4 weeks and then give them money.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Sauter versus Visner. Step forward, please.
35-year-old Mary Sauter met 29-year-old Brian Visner on a softball team. She loaned him money, and when they split, she says he kept using her credit cards.
Order. All rise. It's number 48 on the calendar, Judge, in the matter of Sauter versus Visner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Ms. Sauter, according to your papers, you met the defendant in April of
Correct.
1995.
95.
Began dating in May of the same year.
Correct.
And by the middle or the end of the summer, you had loaned him about $1,500.
Thereabouts. Probably more than that, but that's what I'm alleging at this point.
Why?
Well, I met Brian, and we really had a lot of mutual interest together in regards to softball and such. And
You met him at a softball game, according to your papers.
yeah, we played co-rec softball together. Co-rec, men, women. Okay, half-half. All right. And during Memorial Weekend, in fact, we even went down to Chicago for the weekend and had a great time. Came back, and Brian really, truly, I knew was going through a lot of hard times. Had gone through several jobs, different changes in jobs. Brian has 2 children, great boys, and he was in arrears in regards to child support and is trying to get his feet back on the ground. And I truly believed at that point he was trying hard to get his feet back on the ground in regards to a new job.
But why did you give him money?
Because with his initiative, and I saw his motivation in regards to his job, that possibly, I mean, he promised to pay it back.
What kind of work were you doing?
I was, when I originally met her, I was working for my father in construction. And
That sounds as if it could be a long-term proposition. What happened?
well, we got slow, so I went on to started a maintenance company to do some work, and times were hard, but I never asked for anything.
You took?
No, I never asked for anything from
No,
her.
I didn't say asked. I
She
said,
offered,
but you took.
She offered, I took.
Okay. Tell me what you gave him.
Originally, he was asking for little amounts of money, you know, here or there. Hey, 20 bucks, 40 bucks, I'll get it back at the end of the week. Not a problem. I don't even have recollection of that.
Okay.
Okay. The first time really that he asked for a significant amount of money was the end of June. And in fact, I wrote a check out to him, which I have, for $350.
What was that for?
He needed money to pay his July rent in bills.
Is that right, sir?
No.
What do you mean, no? It's made out to you.
She gave me cash. She wrote out
She
a
didn't
check, I
get-
cashed it, and
Yeah.
I didn't use it for, I never said anything about rent or anything like that.
Well, what'd you use it for?
Just going out, doing stuff.
What else?
I mean, he didn't even have money to go to work, okay? So I didn't want that to happen, okay? Because for him, for his kids, you know, my good heart that I wanted
And
to
you
help
thought
him.
you had a future together.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. You know, and things were going good.
Okay.
You know, that I thought, that I
Honor.
knew.
Your Honor.
And so at that point, I extended out an Amical credit card to him. And I said, here, Brian, now listen, anything that you use, it's your responsibility. Okay, we're gonna get through the tough times, but here's the card. I'm keeping track, you keep track, and let's go with it. He went with it. He went all out on it.
You mean you had the Amico company put a credit card in his name?
He was an authorized signer on my account,
Oh, okay.
which ended real quick.
Not quick enough, according to your
Correct.
complaint.
Correct.
How much did he charge up on your credit card?
$700 on the credit card.
Yeah, okay. According to your complaint, there came a time when you told him, hey, Brian, give me back the credit card.
Right.
I'm ripping it up,
Correct.
cutting it in half. You're not entitled
Yes.
to it anymore. Don't use it anymore.
Right.
When was that?
I threw a extravagant birthday party for him. Just a gala event. Blackjack tables, kegs of beer, decorations, food, okay? We were having a good time, you know, people were having a great time.
So what happened?
All of a sudden, I look, he's gone. He left. He left his own party. Left his van there, okay? And went with a bunch of his friends and took off.
Okay,
Didn't hear from him.
So you got angry, and that's when the romance was over.
Correct. That was it. That was the final straw.
All right. When did you get your credit card back?
The next day, I called Amico, and I said, no more. All right? I called him, and I said, Brian, no more. And
But did he continue to charge on your credit card after that?
he continued to charge after I found that Amico received a phone call, and he continued to authorize service on my card after he got my Social Security number.
Your Honor, that's not true.
Did you continue to use the card after she told you not to?
I went up to the pump to use it, and it was done. And I couldn't
Sir.
use it anymore, and then I threw it away.
Sir, listen to
There
me.
was never a call
Hey,
from...
listen.
Yes.
I asked you a simple question. After she told you not to use the card anymore, which was after your birthday party in July of '95,
Correct.
you continued to use the card.
From what I recollect, is that it was not right after my birthday. It was... it had to be 3 weeks to a month later.
Had you been dating each other during that 3 or 4 week period?
She had got me into a golf tournament.
After your birthday?
After my birthday.
Can I see the Amico bills,
Yes.
please?
They start from 7/21 on.
And my birthday's 7/18.
Sir, you used this card until the end of December.
That's when I got a call that it was done. That's when she called me to tell me it was done. It wasn't in July
Even
or
according
August.
to you, sir, it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks after your birthday party in July. That would bring us up into August. You used her card big time. September, October, November, December. That's outrageous.
2-3
Why
times
did you
a
do?
day.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
Well, it was wrong.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Friday night softball games, I'd go into my bag after softball was done, and there'd be $200-300 in there. In an envelope.
And later
Well,
today,
now you'll know better. You don't move in with somebody unless you love them, unless you're prepared to have aggravation.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. After Mary Sauter met Brian Visner playing softball, he borrowed money and used her credit card. They split. Now she wants the money back.
Why do you think you don't owe her this money? So far, we're up to $1,050.
Why don't I think I owe her the money? It's because she had done things through this whole relationship. The trip to Chicago was just I came home from work on a Saturday, and she called that Saturday afternoon and said, "You want to go to Chicago? I'm buying. Let's go have some fun." I said, "Well,
Fine.
you know."
Wait, I haven't even talked about Chicago. I'm talking about the $350 she gave you for rent.
I have no clue what that was for. I mean, I don't think it was for rent. I really don't.
I don't care if you bought $350 worth of bubble gum with it. The idea is she gave you the money. What you did with it is your business. I'm
Right.
sure she didn't give you this check because you said, I want to buy bubble gum. She gave you this check because you said you were in dire straits for money.
I was really never in dire straits for money. I was always working. I always had money.
All right. I'm up to $1,050, madam.
Yes.
Do you have any other checks that you say
Yes,
that
I
you can
did.
prove debt?
Yes. This is the other check that I have this is for cash. And he went to the bank with me because he didn't have a bank account, and I got straight cash for him.
Do you remember that, sir?
No. No, I don't.
Remember what this was for?
Cash.
I mean, but what did he need the money for in June? June 8th?
Probably like what he did on the Amico card, cigarettes and whatever everything else he had. I mean, you know, if he says he's having money on his own, I have no idea. He went out to the, you know, I like to gamble too, but he's out to Mystic Lake, a gambling facility, when he doesn't even have money. He's probably using my money to gamble with.
Well, the memo on this, sir, is clearly, it says, for you for cash.
I make all notes on
I'm
my
sure
checks.
it does. She probably wrote it out, cashed it, got the cash and put that on there. That's fine. I don't remember receiving a check for that or
She
any
didn't get a
cash
check
for that.
for it, cash. You mean to tell me you have no memory of getting cash from her?
Not for that, no.
For what?
For any, I mean, I do remember getting cash from her at other times.
Like how much?
Friday night softball games, I'd go into my bag after softball was done, and there'd be $200, $300 in there, in an envelope. I never asked for it, and then she'd put her name on there. Yes, this is for me. So I'd take it. I'd spend it. I don't say what I did was right. It was wrong. But,
I've been a judge for a long time. What always strikes me as being interesting, for want of a better word, is that there are usually more women standing in your place and usually more men standing in his place than there are vice versa. When are women going to wise up?
I have.
When are women going to wise up? You don't know somebody 4 weeks and then give them money.
I have. I mean, I've been guilty of it for all my whole life. I was a good heart. That was it, and I've learned.
You ought to stop.
Well, believe
Your
me, I have
Honor.
a fiance now that gives me money, and we have everything together.
Your Honor,
What?
I'm not the first person that she's done this to. There's 3 or 4 other guys before me that she's done the same thing
You
for.
mean been very generous with?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you
Very
this question,
generous.
sir. When did you find that out?
After I started seeing Mary.
In what? You mean in May?
Well, maybe a few weeks after that.
Few weeks after.
After the trip,
All right.
after the trip to Chicago.
Hey, talking. Few weeks after that, I want you to tell me how it came about that you found out that she had been generous with men friends before.
Other guys on the softball team that we played on.
And I usually don't accept hearsay, but the conversation was you going out with Mary and she's pretty generous with her money?
The conversation was, what did you do last week? And I said, Mary took me to Chicago. Well, she
Yeah.
likes to do that for the guys that she's seeing. She likes to spend money on them and treat them nice.
How lovely.
Your Honor?
Don't say anything else.
Okay.
Don't say anything else with the exception of learning the words, like almost like a mantra. I'm sorry I don't lend money to people that I know for such a short time.
Guilty.
Right. Guilty. Guilty. You owe her $1,500. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She said a lot of things. I took advantage of her, and I don't disagree with that. That's what Mary does for a living. She sues people.
And now the next case.
Parties on Magid versus Miller. Step forward, please.
27-year-old Sandy Majid is suing her roommate, John Miller, claiming he was violent and verbally abusive.
How long did you know each other before you decided to room together?
10 years.
Why did you decide to room together?
Because we were friends and he needed to move out of his place because he had a dog, and I moved out of my parents' house.
You weren't romantically involved, you were just friends.
Right.
Now, under this rather bizarre arrangement, reading the complaint, you were supposed to perform certain maid services in the house, like keeping the house nice and clean, doing the cleaning, the cooking, the washing, and he would pay all of the expenses with the exception of your phone bill. Is that the idea?
And the rent. I paid rent, too.
And you paid the rent, but he would pay everything else.
Yeah, but that only lasted for 2 months. And then we talked about it, and it wasn't working, so we
Yeah.
each decided to
After 8 months.
take care of our own thing.
I paid all the bills for 8 months.
But, you know, he wouldn't clean up after himself if he left something. He'd just leave the sauce on the table. He wouldn't do normal maintenance. He'd give his dog a shower and have hair all over the place and water all over the floor. I mean, he didn't even pick up after himself.
It's not true.
Right! And I got one of those home.
Yeah.
And I pay half the rent.
Yeah.
Miss Majid, I don't like cleaning up after my husband, and I love him. You made an arrangement to clean up after this man, and after a while, you didn't even like him. Not too smart.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Could I talk about the pain and suffering?
No.
Okay,
You don't,
and
sir,
then
you don't look like you're in pain, and you don't look like you're
mental
suffering anymore.
anguish. If I
Mental
told
anguish.
you what she
Oh.
put me through.
Oh, God.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandy Majid is suing her former roommate, John Miller, for verbal abuse and destruction of property. John is countersuing for mental anguish.
It's always smart for women to pay their own way.
But we had...
Listen to me, if you pay your own way, then you don't have to take anybody's guff. Right, Byrd?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so he didn't clean up after himself.
And I cleaned for about 2 months, and then I paid the other half of the bills.
It was only the utility bills. I would pay all the utility bills if she would do the cleaning, because I paid Sandy in my last apartment $50 to clean the place.
And I did.
And she did a great cleaning job. That's why I thought I'd work out this deal with her. The place would stay clean, and I would pay all the bills.
Well, staying clean is one thing, but you know, you can't be...
No, I
what she
wasn't
says, you were
overdoing it.
being
No,
a
she would
slob.
never clean. Nothing.
Huh?
That's
She
not
never
true.
cleaned a thing.
All right, so you should have moved out after 2 months. You should have gone your own separate ways after 2 months.
Yeah, well, we were
Would
friends
you-
for 10 years.
Would you mind telling me what you're suing each other for? You have a suit, you have a
Yeah.
countersuit. You want to tell me what you're suing him for?
I'm suing for my print and my frame here because he threw something at it and broke it.
Can I see it?
Yes.
He admits that he threw something at it and broke it, right?
Yeah.
Why were you mad at her
Well,
picture?
that was the last straw. That was when I had paid all the bills and done the cleaning. Her dog had chewed up my sofa. And then I gave her all the money to pay the bills, and she went on vacation with the money, and I got disconnect notices. I had to pay the bills again. When I called her up and told her, she says, "What do I care if they were turned off? I'm moving out anyways." A moment later, when I hung up the phone, that's when I smashed the picture.
All right, so
'Cause she
you
was
smashed
moving
the
out.
picture, but that's just the glass on the picture,
That's
madam.
right.
No, it's also that there's scratches on the print.
Would you
and
show
the-
me where, please?
Right there. And right here, it devalued the thing, and right, it messed up the mat.
Well, the mat
And
is-
the frame is all scratched.
Just a second. How much did you pay for that?
For the frame and the picture?
For everything?
$920.
$920?
Yeah.
Where did you buy that?
At the Wing Gallery.
Do you like this picture, sir?
Yeah.
Give it to him.
Yeah, he can have it.
All right.
All right. What else are you suing him for?
All right.
I'm
Here's
also
a couple
suing
bucks for it.
for
I feel like I'm running a tag sale here.
the last month and a half of rent because I wasn't there, because he
Oh,
was
my fault.
throwing
Just a
things and
second.
being angry.
Just a second. Did you leave?
Yes.
You don't get that. What's next?
So I had to pay for the last months of rent, and I wasn't even staying there.
But you left. I mean, you agreed to rent this apartment together, right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So you have a responsibility to pay until the end of your lease. So that you don't get.
It was
What else are you
month to
suing for?
month. Pain and suffering, because, I mean, he would just verbally abuse me, and...
You're not married to each other. If you're not getting along with your roommate, then
But,
you're
I
not
mean,
getting
you
along
know,
with
he'd
your roommate.
leave that place a mess constantly. I mean, it was just like I couldn't win.
Well, now you'll know better. You don't move in with somebody unless you love them, unless you're prepared to have aggravation.
But I couldn't stay there because I
You
was,
say you
I
couldn't
was
stay there.
afraid
You
to
don't
stay
like.
there.
You weren't getting along, madam. You weren't getting along. You knew each other for 10 years.
He
You
was
weren't getting along. You
throwing
moved out.
stuff and yelling.
Oh God. What are you suing her for, sir?
She was supposed to clean the house, which she didn't do. So I'm suing $640, which is half the utility bills, which I should get back.
Because you don't like the way she kept the house.
She didn't clean the place at all. I would do any
That's not
cleaning.
true.
Good. That's why you're not together anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
All
so that's
right.
part of mine.
Just a second. What's the other part? Your pain
That-
and suffering. I saw your pain and suffering
that's
too.
a-
Everybody's
that's-
got pain and
That's
suffering.
really a
Bert.
big part of my case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sir, you don't look like you're in pain, and you don't look like you're suffering
Mental
anymore.
anguish. If I
Mental
told you
anguish.
what she
Oh.
put me through, can I mention a few things?
Mention a few things.
Okay, let's put it this way. After she lost her job, she had a really bad mental breakdown. She went to counseling on Prozac. Next thing I know, every time I would take a shower, she'd run the hot water in the kitchen so I wouldn't have any hot water.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, just like you
Just
told
a-
me you used to lock your mother in the walk-in closet.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Miller, is there
I have a
anything
lot
else
of
you
little
want?
things like that that are sad and ridiculous, you know.
Sounds like what married people do to each other.
Yeah.
Your countersuit is dismissed, sir. You just bought a picture for $920. Judgment in the case is for the plaintiff. Hang the picture, put a piece of glass. It's really very nice.
All right.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,
She didn't keep her end of the agreement. You know, I'm paying all the bills, and she's turned the place into a pigsty. She was continuing cleaning other people's homes. She said, I have to clean that person's home for $50. Then she wanted me to pay her to clean up her own mess.
I don't hate him. We just didn't get along as roommates.
Yeah, it sometimes happens when you live together, but it's sad after 10 years of friendship it come down to this.
There were parts that turned green.
A hairdresser and an actress butt heads after a bleach and perm lead to hair gone haywire.
Well, why didn't you go back to her?
Why
this
would I
lady
go
had
back
been
to this
going.
person who killed my hair? She begged them to call me and have me to go and do her hair.
But if it's permed, it's got a curl, so it's shorter.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Party's on Leporati versus Chattel. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Jennifer Leporati says when she split from 28-year-old Sean Chattel, he kept the camcorder and still owes her for a loan.
Order. All rise. All rise, please. Your Honor, this is number 174 on the calendar in the matter of Leporati versus Chattel. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
You lived together for a while in his parents' home. Is that right?
No, I always resided at my father's house, but I did spend time at his mother's.
Did you ever sleep there?
Yes.
More than once a week?
Yes.
All right. According to your complaint, he owes you $350. $250 that you gave him to pay back some money for his daughter's school,
His son,
daycare,
yes.
or his son's school. How old is this child?
4.5.
Were you married to his mother?
Yes, I was for 4 years.
And when were you divorced?
About 3.5 years ago.
So how old is the child?
4.5. He was 1.
He was 1 when you
Yes.
separated. And in addition to the $250 that you lent him for the child's daycare, you had purchased a camcorder together for $200. When you split up, he kept the camcorder.
Correct.
Your defense to this action, sir, is?
I have the camcorder, yes.
Okay. You have the camcorder and you
I've
paid?
always had possession of it, yes.
And she paid?
We went in on it together as like everything that we do together. We just, we buy something, we owned it, and it just surprised me that she asked for the $100 back. So.
Because he decided since he broke up, it was his house, it became his possession, no longer mine.
Okay, so let's take care of this $100 camcorder first. You weren't married.
No.
So you each put in half of the camcorder,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
It was $200. You kept the camcorder.
Yep.
Is that fair?
I think it's fair.
Tell me why.
Because for one, it was my idea to buy it. It was my partner that I bought it from, and she's never even used it, and it needed work, so I had to pay for the work to be done on it.
When did it need work?
We didn't even use it, but maybe a couple of weeks, and then I needed to buy a new battery for it. The charger went bad, so it wasn't even working. I paid for all that.
But he's forgetting to let you know that when we bought the camcorder, I put up the $200 up front, and then he paid me back the $100 for it.
Just a second. You say here in your answer to her complaint that the friend that you bought this camera from was a really good friend, and he was selling you this great camcorder for a rock-bottom price.
Correct.
Well, so why don't you think that you owe her half, which is the $100 that she put in? Otherwise, it seems very inequitable to me, sir, that you got the camera and she's got nothing.
Okay, I guess I look at it like if we were to have we have other possessions together. Say she bought me a skateboard. Am I supposed to give her half the skateboard money back because she bought it for a gift?
This is not a gift, sir. I mean, don't you
Everything
understand the
we bought
difference?
together was ours.
This is not a gift. There's a difference between a gift and something you went into together. She put up the $200, you gave her $100 back. That means you bought this as a joint item. Assuming that you were married, it would be considered community property.
Correct.
Court would order it to be sold, you'd get 100, you'd get 100, or you... one of you would get the camera and the other one would have to pay the other for half of its value. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's a difference between that and buying you a skateboard, sir, because you can only fit one behind on a skateboard, the last I looked. Right?
Sure.
All right, so $100, Miss Laporte, you have. Now what about this $250?
Well, when we were going out, I used to front Sean money for various bills, like his son's daycare, etc. or something.
Why
that
did you
he
do
needed to
that?
pay. Because I loved him, and he always was responsible and always paid me back on time. I never had a problem with it until the end. And a couple weeks before we broke up, I lent him $250. Some of it was for daycare, and then others was to get him by until his checks came in from his clients. So I gave him the money, and then that following week we broke up, and he didn't pay me back on a couple of occasions. We met, we talked, he said that he would meet me to pay me back, and he never did. One time he told me he'd meet me at a restaurant. I waited for him for an hour. He never showed up. I called him the next day. He said he didn't feel he had to chase me around town to pay me back the money.
Does any of that sound familiar to you?
No, I mean, absolutely not.
Your Honor, I have...
Just up!
It just
No,
really...
don't look at your feet. Look at my eyes.
Okay.
Does any of what she said about making appointments to meet her, to pay her
One time,
back...
yes.
Shh. Let me finish. Meeting her to pay her back money. None of that sounds familiar to you?
Meet her to talk about the issue that she thinks that I owe her the money when I paid her back. That's what we were supposed to meet for. I felt it was irrelevant to even meet with her, so I didn't. And she didn't have a pager or a phone, so I couldn't call her, so I didn't show up.
I had a cellular phone on me that day.
Just a second.
Okay.
Let me understand something. Are you telling me, sir, that you behaved in an unchivalrous manner by making an appointment to meet her to discuss something and then decided that you didn't feel as if you had anything to discuss and then you didn't show up?
Said, yes.
And then you didn't show up? Is
I
that
couldn't
right?
get
Is
a
that
hold
what
of
you're
her.
telling me?
Yes, I did.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. $350. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our excuse, you may step out. Out the back door to your right.
I'm happy he got what he deserves. He gets away with everything, and I didn't want him to get away with it.
I don't get away with it. What are you talking about? Explain yourself.
Mommy bills you out of
Oh,
this. Grandma
give me a
bills you
break.
out of this.
Give me a
Okay.
break.
You know it's true. I know it's true.
And now the next case.
Parties on Ambrose versus Moronian. Step forward, please.
27-year-old actress Melinda Joyce Ambrose says hairdresser Anita Moronian made her hair turn green. Anita says somebody else botched the job.
Miss Ambrose, you are dissatisfied with the defendant's services that she performed for you as a hairdresser.
Yes.
And not only, according to your complaint, do you want to be compensated by having her return the money that was paid, but you also want her to pay for, let's see, $600 for what it cost you to repair your hair, another $1,000 or so for you to take new headshots because you're an actress.
Yes.
This better be good. Go.
Okay. I have a picture of what my hair... I've been growing out my hair for 2 years. I went to expensive salons to have them take care of my hair. Anita is a relatively expensive... She works at a relatively expensive salon. I had been seeing her for at least 7 months. I have a picture of what my hair looked like before she went and permed it. It's bleached hair. And I had put some temporary color in my hair.
Just a second. Let's stop. You sort of glossed over that. So you put some color in your hair.
Yes.
And then when did you call her after you had put the color in your hair?
The morning after, and I told them what... I told her boss, and then I told her
You
exactly
spoke to her.
what I put in my hair.
Yes.
Yes.
And she said what?
That it was still safe to perm it and color correct it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to tell me how horrible your wife looked?
Her hair after coming back from the salon was very bad. It was very frizzy, it was very damaged, it was orange and green.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melinda Joyce Ambrose says hairdresser Anita Moronian cut her hair too short, permed it, and turned it green. Anita says she warned her not to color her hair.
Just a sec. Color corrected, which means you put something in your hair.
That was too dark. It was darker than I liked it.
So then you made an appointment, and when did you go in?
It was that morning.
And what happened when you got there that morning?
I checked with her again and again and again, and I said, I used Clairol. It's a version #1. This is in my hair now. She obviously saw the color difference because she had been my sole hairdresser for 7 months. I said, are you sure it's safe to perm on this hair?
Miss Ambrose, why did you take it upon yourself to do a home hair color on yourself if you had been going to very expensive salons for months and months?
My hair turned out darker than I wanted it to, and so I thought it wouldn't be a problem for her to put basic rinse through my hair to...
In a second.
Okay. A basic rinse through to soften the color and to perm it. It's a non-ammonia, non-peroxide solution, and I told her exactly what it was, and I asked if it could be done. I was very clear about that. I mean, I asked her over and over so much that I felt paranoid, and she assured me that it was fine. She assured me that it was fine to do a color and a perm that day.
Okay, so what did you do?
I went in, got the perm done. It turned out stringy and strawy and awful. Most of the color washed out. Some of it basically baked in would be the right words. It stuck and wouldn't come out, and that turned kind of orange. There were parts that turned green. After Anita saw that, Anita looked at my hair. She told me not to see anyone for 2 days because it was really damaged. She couldn't color my hair that day because it was too damaged, even though she had agreed to at the beginning of that service. And basically let me go. She said not to touch it for 2 days and then to use a semi-permanent color, which is exactly what I did.
Just a second. She told you to do another self-help?
No, she said she wanted to put the semi-permanent color in.
Okay, so she told you to leave with the perm that you said was not good and not do anything for 2 days, and then you should come back to the salon for whatever corrective measures with regard to color she would do.
Yes.
And then what did you do?
And I left out a detail, is that she cut off most of the green and the orange, making my hair basically a couple inches shorter than it is right now.
Well, you wouldn't want green and orange in your hair. So then she told you to come back in 2 days. What did you do?
In 2 days, I went to someone else who was not her because I would never go back to somebody who did that to my hair again.
Miss Ambrose, you're talking as if this lady did what she did to you on purpose. You don't believe that she did this to you on purpose.
She told me,
hey,
Your Honor.
You don't believe she did this to you on purpose?
Not on purpose, out of seeking money and out of negligence, yes.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
First of all, she's calling, I mean, I'm not a better actress than she is. She's acting, but I don't know how to act. So she called the salon around 2 o'clock in the morning, left a message. I mean, this is not a normal hours.
2 o'clock in the morning? This is before you worked on
She
her?
brought me in my day off to do
Listen
her
to me.
hair.
Stop talking, listen to me.
Right.
Well, I want to know about when you started to do work on her.
Not
with this perm.
She called that morning, it's my day off. She begged them to call me and have me to go and do her hair. In my day off, I went to do her hair. Tried to do a favor to her, and she's telling me negligently
Just
I
a
burned her
second.
hair.
What happened when you got to the salon?
She came in the salon, I came in my day off, I did her hair, what I had to do.
What
Her
did you
hair
do?
I permed her hair.
What kind of a discussion did you have before you permed her hair?
I mentioned to her, I said, every time you have a chemical process, anything happens, your ends might little damage. And it's very possible with the perms. It's always possible.
Did you tell her that?
Yes, I did.
She just said ends might have a little damage. That's like not 3 inches.
Your Honor, can I continue?
Yes, continue.
So I did her perm, but when she came, she had already green hair on her hair.
Just a
Every
second.
time you have a perm, your hair shrinks because it's curly.
Of course, that's, you know, you
So
don't have to be a
I
physicist to
trimmed the
figure that out.
ends. I didn't chop her, I didn't shorten it 3 inches. It's already, when you perm the hair, it's by himself, it shrinks.
So when you cut off the ends?
I cut off the ends.
And you told her to come
and
back
I told her, I said, I cannot color your hair because she wanted me to color it. I said, come back in 2 days because a perm needs to oxidize the neutralizer has to oxidize on the hair too, between 24 to 36 hours. So I told her when she come back, I can put semi-permanent color. Since that day, I never seen her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I knew from the first day I met you, you are a weirdo. There's something wrong about you.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Actress Melinda Joyce Ambrose says that she could not go on auditions after hairdresser Anita Moranyan ruined her hair. Anita says she's not the one who ruined it.
In order for me to say to you, I'm comfortable with any of your allegations, you had been using this lady for 7 months. You put your own process on your hair, which you know if you're a smart lady, and you rely on your looks to make a living that you shouldn't have done. Clearly, because you didn't like the result of what you did, you called her. She came into work on her day off to do your hair to perm it, right?
Apparently,
right?
yes.
Apparently, yes. So I assume that when you called, you were hysterical, that your hair was too dark, and that somebody could please come in and do your hair.
I doubt I was hysterical.
My problem is, you'd been using this lady for color.
Yes.
You started a process that you hadn't used before. You were going to get a perm. A perm was going to change your appearance because it was going to make your hair curly instead of glorious and straight.
Yes.
All right, so that you were going to do anyway, which would have required, if I read your complaint correctly, additional headshots, because then if you had curly hair, it's different from straight hair. It's also shorter hair.
That's why I only asked for 2, because in the year that it's going to take me to grow my hair out back to there, I'm assuming 1 headshot session would have had to have happened anyways. But I lost all the headshots that I had. I can't use them now. I can't ever use them again. And I'm going to have more than that done
so
in
then
this
you
next year.
You learn 2 things. A, you should let a professional colorist do your hair if you rely on something. B, if you decide to have 3 processes on your hair, you risk your hair turning orange and green.
Your Honor, can I ask you to please understand
Sure.
one thing?
Sure.
And also, I'd like you to hear from my husband, if that would be possible.
What does he want to tell me?
How horrible it looked right after she did it, because he saw it.
Oh, sure, I'll hear you. I'll hear you. Step up, sir. Your name?
Nick Ambrose.
You want to tell me how horrible your wife looked?
Her hair, after coming back from the salon, was very bad. It was very frizzy. It was very damaged. It was orange and green. And I know how careful she is about her hair, and how she was very, very, very insistent that she told what was on the box of the actual label of the box of the dye she put on the day before, so that the person who was doing it would know exactly what was there and would be able to judge whether they could do a safe process or not.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a software engineer.
Let me ask you this question, sir. If somebody has a computer and they take their computer and they try, and doesn't seem to be working right, and they have a guarantee that goes with the computer, and they decide, well, they think that they could fix this computer, so they take a toothbrush and a toilet plunger. Say, I could fix this computer. I'm going to stick in the toilet plunger. I'm going to roto-root this computer, right? And then the computer doesn't work, and they bring it to you, and they say, hey, I got a guarantee here. The computer doesn't work. And you say, listen, there's an intervening thing here. There's an intervening thing here. You took this toothbrush, you took this toilet plunger, you try to fix the computer yourself. I don't understand why a woman who has been going to what she says to me is an expensive salon for 7 months, one night gets a bee in her bonnet that she wants to change her hair color, goes down to a drugstore and buys a box of something for $2.98 and puts it in her hair, or for $4.95 and puts it in her hair. And then she's so hysterical because of the way she looks that she can't even wait for this lady to come in on her regular day. She's got to come in the very next day and not say to her, listen, could you just fix the color for me, throw a rinse in, I just want to get it back, but comes in and says, I want my hair permed.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You had here a dissatisfied customer.
Right.
Your dissatisfied customer paid you $125 for a process that she was dissatisfied with. Let me tell you what good business is. Good business is saying to a dissatisfied customer, listen, I'm sorry that you were dissatisfied. You've been my customer for 7 months. You've paid me for 7 months. You're dissatisfied. I don't think I did anything wrong, but you're dissatisfied with the service. I don't want you to be dissatisfied. I'm going to give you back your $125. That's what you originally called for, correct? You said you called because you wanted your money back.
Yeah.
And
she wanted more.
Hey! Some people are so stupid, they just don't understand. You said you wanted your money back.
Yes.
And if they had given you your money back, this matter would have been closed.
If it had happened right away, yes.
Good. Now it's right away.
It's not right away.
It's right away to me, madam. I'm giving you your money back, $125. It's more than I think that you deserve. I think that you contributed in part to having your hair damaged. You can't do one process, another process, a perm, and then a color to your hair and expect
Your
your
Honor,
hair
didn't
and
she
expect
have a
your
life-
hair to be as pristine as it is in this picture.
Your Honor, didn't she have a responsibility to tell me that before she did the process?
I believe that she told you that you were going to have damage
No,
to your hair. The fact that you didn't want to hear it is your problem. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $125, period. End of case.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I was working just fine. I had an agent, and they all thought my hair was fine. Anita didn't make me beautiful, and Anita did do nice corrective color, and that was great, and that's why I trusted
What's
her
that
with the
mean?
pearls. It means you made my hair what I
sure.
wanted.
Thank you very much. That's what I
Nice,
wanted to
beautiful.
hear it. That's
For
all
7
what I
months
wanted
you
to
did,
hear.
and that's what it was in my
And I
complaint.
knew from the first day I met you, you are a weirdo. There's something wrong about you.
Thank you. Well, I'm really glad I referred people to your
Sure.
salon.
I was the one that was the victim.
When you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this case
is the little girl.
A decade-long family tragedy unfolds because a young mother can't cope.
A child is not a piece of meat.
I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. There was a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Castillo versus Hopkins. Step forward, please.
28-year-old Marnie Castillo is suing her aunt, 43-year-old Vicky Hopkins. Marnie claims that Vicky agreed to adopt her daughter 9 years ago, but the adoption never actually took place. Now the state is coming after Marnie for back child support, and she wants her aunt to pay.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 217 on the calendar in a matter of Castillo versus Hopkins. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
Reading these papers suggests to me that this was a terrible tragedy in your family, but most especially for an innocent child who was now 10?
9.
9. Miss Castillo, you present to me a very unique cause of action, one that I have not seen before in my 25 years. You are suing the defendant for what appears to be a failed adoption of your child.
Yes.
You were a teenager, you had a child out of wedlock.
That's true.
And the defendant is your aunt.
That's true.
Briefly, she and her husband agreed to take custody of this child. She says because the child wasn't being cared for properly as an infant. Is that right?
That's right. That's not true.
Well, she'll tell me about that. There came a point when you said that you would adopt, or to at least take custody of this child and perhaps adopt
That's
her
right.
when she was an infant.
Right.
How old?
She was 14 months old.
And for that first 14 months, she had lived with her mother.
Off and on, she lived with Marnie. She visited with me from the time she was 2 weeks old, off and on.
Visited. Visited you, not lived with you.
Miss Castillo, I would suggest that you not be hostile.
I'm sorry.
In any event, the child's now 9 years old. And what this is all about is, for one reason or another, which I find very interesting in here, this adoption did not take place.
It didn't.
You did not adopt this child with your husband. And the child at some point was being supported by the taxpayers.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
And the state has come against you
Yes, that's true.
for back child support.
Yes.
So you are suing your aunt because she didn't adopt your daughter, and therefore you're stuck paying the child support. That's what this case is about.
That's basically, yes, what it's about.
Your Honor, can I say something? We were going to adopt this little girl because the father was named unknown in the whole beginning of everything.
I have all the paperwork here.
Miss Castillo,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
don't interrupt.
Up until these final papers were sent to us, everything was going according to plan.
How old was the child at that point?
She was 14 months old. We got a letter and some papers sent to us from Don Smith, which was handling the adoption, showing that Fillmore Hostler was Marley's father that Marnie had named. He was Native American. We were told in the beginning it was a good thing this little girl's father wasn't Native American. It would have to be okayed by the tribe.
Okay, let me go back so that we all, put your hand down, so that we all understand each other. Can I see those papers, please? When a child is the child, at least in a certain amount of blood lineage of an American Indian, under the U.S. Code, all the states have agreed that whatever dealings involve that child by way of custody or adoption, the tribe, the native tribe, has first crack at trying those cases or at dealing with the adoption because they feel as if the tribe wants to hold on to whatever children that they have rather than allow the state to be involved. So that is the law. You are quite correct. Now, did you name someone at any point, Ms. Castillo, as the father of this child?
Not at the birth, but during the rundown on the adoption with Don Smith, yes, I did name the real father.
Okay.
And
now, the real father that you named was a person who was an American Indian.
He was half, and I also have papers stating that it says Caucasian with his name on it, with their signatures on it.
If he is half American Indian, then the tribe has the right to deal with the adoption. If you had wanted them to adopt this child with ease and let it go through, why at the time that they filed the papers did you name, when you first said, I don't know who the father is, why did you then name somebody who was an American Indian as the father?
He was her father, and at the time, I was telling the honest truth. I wanted the best for my little girl.
Just a second.
I did want the best for her.
Miss Castillo, then if he was the father, that means that you lied at the beginning when you said you didn't know who the father was.
I never had told that I didn't know who the father was. I just didn't sign the birth certificate with any father's name on it. I never told them that I didn't know who the father was. Personally, I didn't tell anybody who the father was. It was no one's business. I didn't know what I was doing as an 18-year-old giving birth to a little girl. I didn't know that that's right.
Then somebody else was named as the father.
She named that person on the papers. It asked in the DA's papers who you have slept with in the last 5 months. The person she's pushing for the child support was named because I was dating him in June.
Just a second. Just a second. She can't name somebody else as the father.
She named them because he was on the DA's papers stating that I slept with him in June. So since she considered that as a person to go for the back child support, she pushed it.
Just a minute. She's not suing you for back child support, Ms. Castillo. Hey! She's not suing you for child support. The state is suing you for the money that the taxpayers paid out for your daughter.
I understand that, but she also told my mother on a phone conversation, why should Marnie have to pay for it and let the father pay for it? And Evan Duke looks like her father, and she looks like Linda Evans, the mother.
Why don't you take a blood test?
We have taken a blood test. It hasn't came back yet.
Oh, baloney.
It has not. The blood tests were just barely taken 3 weeks ago.
At age 9?
At age 9 years old. This only has been coming about just this year.
If the person that you say she named as the father...
He's not.
Is not.
Excuse me, ma'am. He's not the father, though.
Then the blood test will establish that.
That is very true.
Then you will totally be responsible for the child support.
Totally be responsible for a breach of contract agreement?
There is no... Madam, let me explain something to you. A child is not a piece of meat.
I didn't think it was a piece
No,
of
a
meat.
child is not a piece of meat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this unusual custody case, Vicki Hopkins is being sued by her niece, Marnie Castillo, after caring for her daughter for many years. Marnie says she thought her aunt adopted her daughter 9 years ago and was shocked to find out that the adoption never went through. Now the state wants Marnie to pay back child support, but Marnie feels her aunt should pay.
I understand that this child at some point went back to you.
Yes.
Is that just... Yes. When did the child come back to you?
When my aunt had had surgery and she got on all kinds of medication, my uncle thought it was a better idea for her to come back to the mother. Since I had been previously on drugs and on alcohol, I do admit to that, yes. But it took me a long journey to get where I am today. And the child was in the best interest with them. But they always led me to believe she was adopted to them, and I was never an absent parent. That's why I'm angry about the child support. I never had proper visitations. I had no clue she wasn't adopted until 1994 on Easter, when my aunt and I got into a fight during Easter. She left me at our family function. I had to find my own ride home that time. We had got back. The DA had sent me papers saying I owed this back child support. But the fact of what I'm here to argue is they never let me have anything to do with her. And if I was an absent parent, I should have had paternal rights. I should have been notified that they had never adopted her. And nothing. I was never adopted.
Are you saying to me, Ms. Castillo, that your aunt and uncle prevented you from seeing this little...
Yes, they did, ma'am. They did.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't cut me off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Are you saying that your aunt and uncle didn't let you see your daughter?
Yes, I'm telling you that.
Is that true?
No, that's not
That
true.
is true, and you know it.
In the very
and
beginning,
you moved away
when
from
Marley
her.
first
You moved
came
away.
to us.
You're
I could never see
irritating
her.
me. If you irritate me again,
sorry.
I'm going to
I
dismiss your
understand.
case.
Okay.
Good.
In the beginning, when Marley first came to stay with us, for her to bond with my husband, my daughter, and myself, she was going through an emotional time, up in the night crying, couldn't figure out where her mother was at. I asked Marnie not to come to visit for at least the first 6 months
3 years.
so she could bond with us.
3 years.
I told
me.
you.
I'm
I
sorry,
told you
ma'am.
one more time, and you're out of here. You got it?
Yeah.
One more time. Be careful, because I mean it. Go ahead.
This happened after the first 6 months. Marnie was allowed to visit with Marley.
Sure, yes.
I never heard from Marnie very much. Marnie would call and I would talk to her and I would tell her how Marley was doing. I told her the adoption had stopped because she had named Fillmore as the father, and I said, I can't have this little girl ripped out of my arms into a strange people's place when this little girl is emotional already. And Marnie was told that on the phone a number of times. Even Marnie's mother, which is my sister, was told this. My sister was very upset with Marnie for doing that. And she made the comment, if this little girl...
Don't tell me what,
okay.
what your
anyway,
sister
the
said.
whole thing boiled down to, after the first 6 months, Marley bonded with us, and everything became much better in the household. Marnie was allowed to see her whenever she wanted.
How
Marnie,
often did she, in fact, come?
Marnie very seldom contacted or called us. Unless Marnie was fighting with one of her boyfriends, then she would call us on the phone and talk to me to come and help her get her out of a situation with one of the boyfriends. Of course, I lived away from her, couldn't do anything about it. So, other than the phone calls, there was nothing I could do. Marnie was always welcome to come see that child.
Ms. Hopkins, at what point did you return the child to her mother?
I returned Marley in May of 1996.
Why?
My husband and I had discussed it. My sister told Marley who her real mother was on a visit one weekend. And when she brought her back, she says to me, oh, by the way, I told Marley who her real mother is. I was just devastated. We were waiting to tell her when the time was right.
So she had been with you for 8 years
For
at that
8
point.
years, and we were waiting to tell her who her real mother was. But my sister brought it upon herself to do it. After that, things started
What's wrong
to
with your
change.
sister?
I love her, but people do their own thing. And so
what happened?
after that, Marley wanted to be around Marnie because she felt this bond with her. She asked me, Mom, why did Marnie keep Tristano and give me away? I said,
You mean she has another child?
yes,
How old is the other child?
2, I guess.
2?
2.5.
And I said, honey, you'll have to ask Marnie that because I can't answer your question.
When she had come to see or had seen the little girl, how was she introduced to her during these 8 years?
She called Marnie Rui and Rue all the time. And that's what she addressed her as.
Okay.
Until my sister told her who her real mother was. And I told Marley, I said, if you want to call her Mom, that's up to you, Marley.
What had she called you?
She calls me Mom, she calls my husband Dad, and she calls my oldest daughter Sister.
Okay. So what happened to propel the child from your home to their home?
So after that, with Marley being curious and wanting to be around her little brother and be around her real mother, I talked to my husband one evening and I said, what would you do if Marnie asked for Marley to come back to her? He said, well, would that be so bad? He said, would giving Marnie a second chance at being a mother be really bad? He said, she is doing good now, and he said, not a lot of people get a second chance. So the both of us decided that would be okay. We talked to Marnie, and that's how she ended up going back. I called 2 or 3 times a day, upset and checking on the little girl. I did go through a nervous breakdown the whole year of letting her go, wondering if it was the right thing. I do now know that it wasn't the right thing. And Marnie had her 2 months, sent her to her mother, which is my sister. I called and I said, can I talk to Marley? She's outside playing. I called 3 or 4 times, the same answer. Finally, Marnie said, well, she's at my mom's. I thought she was there on a visit. Come to find out, Marnie had sent her there permanently. The little girl is still now with my sister. In the beginning, my sister and I had problems, and I said, the little girl should have been sent back to us, not to you. Why did you guys do this to us? And I literally had a breakdown over it. My husband called Marnie and said, why didn't you guys send this little girl home?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt and my cousin is my sister. What about that one?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this bizarre child custody case, Marnie Castillo feels her aunt, Vicky Hopkins, should be responsible for paying back child support for Marnie's daughter.
Why did you send her to your mother's house?
My aunt knew we lived in a very small...
Why did you send her to your mother's house?
I lived in a studio apartment, my husband, I, and my son. My aunt told me if I didn't take her in May that it wouldn't be a good thing for her to go back. So
You mean because of school?
But there was no room in this house for her. She had her own things, her own bedroom, and we had no room at the time.
Just a second. Miss Castillo, did you tell your aunt when you spoke to her, before your daughter was moved to your house, I can't take her now?
Yes.
Just a second. I cannot take her now. I have no room.
Yes, I did say that.
Did she say that to you?
No, ma'am. I would have never, ever...
Oh,
Can I
please,
address her?
Miss Castillo.
Can I address
You
her,
are
please?
so full of baloney that
No,
you
I'm
told
not,
this
ma'am.
lady who had parented a
This
child
is my
for 8
husband
years.
who's a witness. He was there during the conversation.
place was
She
too
came
small.
to our house to see how big
This
it was.
action was forced upon Marnie. I asked her, can she wait till we get a bigger place, something. I could foresee the problems happening. The child was used to her own room, bigger things. All we had was this little small apartment. It was very difficult.
So who did you tell that to?
My aunt.
No! You listen to me. Who did you tell that to, sir?
I explained this to my wife.
I'm not interested whether you explained it to your wife. I'm interested in... I don't believe that she told her aunt.
I did.
I don't believe you,
I
madam.
overheard it on the phone conversation.
I don't believe you. Sit down. I don't believe you. Because I don't believe that this
Ma'am,
lady
can
who
I
had
address you,
parented a
please?
child... Hey,
Please, can I state something? You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this
you
whole
caused...
thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
I didn't cause anything. My aunt is putting on a melancholy act here. I was the one that was the victim. They only agreed to take her if it was on adoption terms. Yes, I was having problems, but maybe I could have gone to... I went to drug treatment. They moved away when I was in drug treatment. I had no clue where they were. I was trying to get my life together, and they moved away. I didn't get in contact with the little girl again until she was 3 years old. I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. My aunt's leading you to believe that she's the victim. She was never the victim in this. I and my little girl both were a victim. I was 18 years old, didn't know what I was doing. I asked them for help. They were like my parents to me. I believed
May
everything.
I see the bill, please, for the
bill
state
is
says
right
that
here,
you
and
owe
all
them.
the adoption paper stuff is
Can
here,
I
ma'am.
see what the bill is that the state says that you owe them?
I'm sorry to get angry, but this hurts me. I've gone through a lot with this, and my aunt didn't go through anything
Past
except last year,
Past due.
the nervous breakdown, if she even did.
45:30.
She
Miss
constantly
Castillo,
called.
Miss Castillo, it's too bad that you have 2 children. Not 1, but 2.
I do have
Because
2.
when you... It's too bad you have any. Because when you call
That's a
yourself a
cruel thing to
victim...
say. That's a
When
cruel
you
thing to
call...
say to me.
When you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this case...
Is the little girl.
That's right. You caused it. Your irresponsibility caused it. Your drug problem caused it. Your drug rehabilitation caused it. These people didn't need an additional responsibility. They took on that responsibility because of a problem, a mess you created. You compounded it. You compounded it by naming someone as the father of this child who precluded them, without a great deal of hassle, from going through with an adoption. At some point, your mother told this little girl at age 8 and a half
That has nothing to do with me.
told her that she was not her mother, that you were the mother. That's very confusing. I don't know where your sister went to psychiatry school, but she probably got it in some thing where you read behind it in a magazine, because she's not a very intelligent woman, clearly not an intelligent woman. Ultimately, the only one who suffered emotionally, who's an innocent, is your daughter. Next in line are these people, and way down the pike are you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
This case has to do with money. And the only issue is whether I'm going to tell this lady that she's got to pay $4,300, or I'm going to tell you that you got to pay $4,300, which is the amount that was paid as enforced support by the state over an 8-year period. 8 years. So I guarantee you that this lady and her husband paid a lot more to raise this child for 8 years than $4,300. Guaranteed. Because if you figure that out on a weekly basis, you pay more to take care of a goldfish. That is the difference that the state had to pick up. You, madam, this is your problem. You're responsible for this money. You pay it. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I hate you, you know that?
Is this yours? Thank you. Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I had no clue I was an absent parent. I thought they adopted her. I agreed upon all their terms to only visit when they said.
That's not true.
That
I
is
called
true.
her right after I got the papers that
No,
Fillmore
you
was
did
her
not call
father.
me. I was in a drug
and told
treatment.
her
Didn't know where you were, lady.
That
didn't know
she
where
just
you were.
stopped the case because it would have to go through the tribe.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt and my cousin is my sister. What about that one? You don't want to bring the dirty laundry on this air? Your daughter is my sister, which is my cousin.
How old are you?
8.
Someone damaged the computer, and little Angela was the only eyewitness. But was she old enough to say what was true or false?
If I were to tell you that the judge, you know, that's me, is a young, beautiful woman, would that be the truth or a lie?
Truth.
Yes!
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Apolinaro versus Madison. Step forward, please.
Amante and Emma Apolinario are suing their tenant, 34-year-old Marissa Madison, claiming Marissa stole 2 pieces of Tupperware and her son ruined their computer.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 134 on the calendar in the matter of Apolinario versus Madison. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat.
You folks rented a room in your home to the defendant, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And your complaint alleges that her little boy broke a computer?
That's right.
There's a very short piece about the computer in your complaint. And a very long piece about a piece of Tupperware that she took.
Here they are.
So, it says that you rented one of your master bedrooms in your home. Why did you decide to do that?
For extra money, Your Honor.
Did you put an ad in the paper?
Yes, we put it in the ad in the papers.
And she responded to the ad?
She responded to the ad, and she seems to be a nice person. And on the first day, she told us, you know, it looks like that she already knew us. You know, she tell us a lot of stories about her problems, even the first meeting. So we
So you
thought she's a
decided
nice
to rent her a
person,
room?
you know?
That's right.
And you were living there with your son?
I was.
How old is your son?
He was 4.5. And when I responded to the ad, I talked to them. I wanted to meet them and see if I can trust them and everything like that. And they lied to me. They told me that they only have 3 kids and a niece that's living in that house. And then I found out when I was already living there were like 11 people with 2 sisters and 2 children of each.
So why didn't you move out?
I moved out because...
No, why didn't you immediately when you found out that there were so many people there? If that bothered you, why didn't you leave?
Right. I was in the middle of job change. And it was so many furnitures. I have a lot of things in the storage and a lot of stuff that I have to move. And it was a hassle because I got a new job nearby to that house in that city. So I thought that I can have a good relationship with them.
Fine. So it didn't make any difference to you that there were so many people living there?
Right.
You stayed there?
I did.
All right. Now let's get to the broken computer. This is not a big deal. You had a son. How old is he?
He was 4.5.
You say he broke your computer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who saw him do that?
I got a witness, my daughter, who was inside the room at the time.
How old are you?
8.
8? What is your name?
Angeline.
Angelina? Come up here. Have a seat. Can you get up there? Sure you can. Hi.
Hi.
Did you go to school?
Yeah.
I have a few questions to ask you, okay? Because you're only 8 years old, so I have to find out whether I can swear you to take an oath in court. You're very pretty. Are you nervous?
No.
Don't be. What grade are you in school?
Second, but I'm going to be in 3rd.
Do you have a best friend in school?
Yeah.
Did you ever tell a fib?
No.
A lie?
No.
Did you ever tell a lie to your folks? To your mom, to your dad?
No.
Even a little one?
No.
Not even a little one?
Yeah.
When you told a little lie to your mom and dad, did you get punished?
Yeah.
Now, if I were to tell you that this was a duck, would that be the truth or a lie?
Lie.
Because it's what?
About that.
Now, Angelina, if I were to tell you that the judge, you know, that's me, right, is a young, beautiful woman, would that be the truth or a lie?
Truth.
Yes! Very smart little girl. Very smart little girl. Okay, could you do me a favor, and I'm going to let you sit there. Can you raise your right hand? You know your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know this lady's little boy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
DJ.
Did you see him do anything to the computer?
Yeah.
What did you see him do?
He put the disk in the computer.
And did something happen to the computer after he did that?
Yeah, it broke.
How do you know it broke, Angelina?
Well, I didn't really check it, but my brother told me it was broken.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But listen to me, you're
Your
not
Honor.
going to waste my time with
I got a
Tupperware that's worth
witness.
$3.
Not even. It's at my cost. It's only $1.65.
And later today,
All she could do was stand there and let him abuse me after 8 years of friendship.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marissa Madizon, a 34-year-old travel agent, says she should not be responsible for damage that Amante and Emma Apolinario say her son caused to their computer.
Now, did you have a discussion with the defendant about this computer?
Yes, Your Honor, and many times she agreed to repair it. She even called her friend to look at it. And all I was
Did you do
thinking-
that? Yes, I tried, but I told them that I cannot accept it. But they are all over me and telling me that my son is the youngest, that he's the only one capable of destroying that computer.
Yes, go ahead.
She's a liar.
No.
She keeps on promising us, especially me. She told me before, after she moved out, after June 15, she went back to my house. And she said, I asked her, where is the parts that you want to buy for our computer? She said, oh, I already ordered it. I already ordered it,
Did you
and
tell
it's
her
my
that?
mind. That's
Did
my
you tell her
responsibility.
that you had already
That's
ordered
what
the
she
parts?
said to me.
Shh. Did you tell? Listen to me. Did you tell her that you had ordered the parts for the computer?
I said I will order it.
Okay. Well, then you agreed to pay for it. How much were the parts?
It's $100 something.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I thought that the CD-ROM was the only defective, but it wasn't the CD-ROM that was defective.
Sir, you didn't pay all that much money for the whole computer.
I did.
No, you didn't.
What happened is, when they told me that the computer is broken, the computer is all over, I mean, it's torn apart.
Bottom line is you agreed to pay for the parts.
This is what I
Period.
said.
You agreed to pay for the parts. Now, how much were the parts that you agreed to pay for?
It's $125.
Okay. Next, what's about this Tupperware? Tell me about the Tupperware.
Can I just say something before
No,
that?
tell me about the Tupperware.
Okay.
I'm getting frustrated.
Wesley went on June 15. Was it June 15? Yeah.
June 15, she left the house, and then she went back. She left Sunday. She went back Wednesday, and me and my husband and my kids are there, supposed to be leaving, going to church. And she went by, and then
Give me
she
the
said,
Tupperware,
okay,
please.
the Tupperware. She's asking me about the Tupperware. I saw it in the garage. I told her, I never see any Tupperware of yours. What I know is...
What is in the bag, madam?
This is what happened. Before I left on Sunday...
Is that the Tupperware that,
yes, it
that
is.
you're wasting my time about? Could I
Yes.
see it, please?
Here.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just a second. Whose Tupperware is that?
Mine.
Both items?
Yes. And I have more other parts that were stolen from their garage.
That's all I'm hearing.
That's why I wanted to tell you the story. Before I left, I asked her permission if I can leave my boxes because I didn't have any more room in my car, that I can pick them up.
Which, not interested in that. Which of these two items do you say is yours?
All of those are mine. I have a receipt here that I have lots of Tupperware in my house.
She bought my Tupperwares. I'm a dealer for less cost. Less cost of what I bought of my Tupperware, she bought.
Oh, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to waste my time with
I got a
Tupperware that's worth $3.
I know, that's right.
Not even. Not
What?
even. It's not my cost. It's only $1.65.
Fine. Would you give? You giving it to her? Perfect. We've resolved the Tupperware.
I have plenty. She bought all my
Stop.
Tupperwares.
We've just resolved the
I'm a dealer.
Tupperware.
Can I say something?
About what?
She come to my house and she got the Tupperware without my knowledge. Without
I told her
knowledge.
needs.
I'm the owner of the house.
Listen to me. Wow.
She admitted.
I couldn't believe when I read this complaint that there were 2 lines about a broken computer and 20 lines about Tupperware. I couldn't understand that. I still don't understand that.
Because
Must
I
be
have a witness,
very
Your
valuable Tupperware.
Well,
you
Your
now have
Honor.
it back. Quiet. Look, you have to pay them $125. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Big liar.
And now the next case.
Parties on Pinkham versus Crawford. Step forward, please.
26-year-old waitress Catherine Pinkham is suing her former friend and roommate, Chandra Crawford. Catherine claims she was kicked out of their apartment after getting into a fight with Chandra's fiancé.
Okay, you two ladies were long-term friends, I gather. And there came a time when you were living at different parts of the country, but you decided to move to California. Correct? Yes. And you decided to live together. Made arrangements to live together. You were looking for the right kind of place. And you were moving to sunny
California.
Right. But in the meantime, you found a boyfriend.
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
So instead of being the 2 of you, it was going to be 3. You should have known right then and there. 2's company.
3's a crowd.
So why don't you tell me what happened and what you're suing her for?
Okay, well, I spent over $3,000 just in moving expenses, moving cross country. That is not what I'm suing her for. Basically, it's we made arrangements. We started about 1.5 years ago that we're going to live together as soon as I finish school. I received my degree. I moved cross country. I was in the house from September 8th until the 21st of the month. That night, I realized that, well, actually, I realized little things here and there over a period of time that her boyfriend and I did not get along. I didn't like the way he was treating her.
What was wrong with the way he was treating her?
He tells her what to wear. She waits on him hand and foot. She pays all the bills for him. He has no job. He drives around in her car all day, sits on his butt and watches video games. And I just didn't like the way I ended up paying, like, I was supposed to originally pay 1/3 of the security and 1/3 of the rent. All of a sudden, before I was moving out, oh, can you pay half the security and half the rent? And I'm like, well, what about timeshare? Well, his job didn't come through yet, and da-da-da-da. And basically, I want you to pay half, and then we'll reimburse you. Well,
so did you do that?
I paid half and half, and I have receipts right here.
How much did you pay altogether?
$13.50, and I have all the receipts with her name.
Okay.
And then I agreed to do it as long as he paid me his share back. I never saw the money. And I'm like, I was there for 2 weeks. There were squabbles here and there. They tried to throw me out after 3 days because he disliked my sister. They didn't like my friend that came out with me that was also helping me in the move. So he decided, because he didn't like my sister and didn't like my friend, he wanted me out. So he tried to throw me out after 3 days, and I stood my ground and I said, listen, you know, I've invested all this money into this place. The last thing I want to do is leave right now. I mean, it was just a big mess. Well, after he barely ever maybe said 2 or 3 words to me at a time.
What happened at the end of September when you left?
What happened the night is I wasn't feeling well one day. We were watching TV. I mentioned there was a commercial on for a pesto crust pizza. I mentioned that I disliked pizza because I was living on the East Coast and that I prefer the pizza on the East Coast better and that I don't recommend eating it. He got up, stormed out of the room, and slammed the door. So I was just sitting there going, okay, what just happened? She came in the room 5 minutes later, Chandra did, and said, you've been bitching all day, about all kinds of things, and, you know, I can tell you don't feel well, and, you know, and I said, listen, Chandra, I said, I'm going to find my own place. It's just not working out because he's just not being very nice to me, and I've made efforts to be nice to him, and it's not working.
Okay, so?
So she went outside and told him that I thought it would be best that I moved out. He wouldn't come into the house, so when she came into the house, I kind of said, well, I don't feel well, but I'm going to go out and run some errands so he can come into the house, and you guys can talk, and I'll come back in a bit. I leave, I come back, I see him tearing down the street in her Jeep. I pull up to the house, she comes outside of the house shaking her head, going, you can't be here in 5 minutes. He said it was either you or him. And I said, you chose him? She goes, yes. And I said, well, can I go into the house and get some of my things? As I was in there, he came back. He was calling me pretty much every profane word you can think of, being very, very rude, getting in my face, threatening me, overpowering me, and, you know, and
so you left that night?
I left that night with nowhere to go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wouldn't pour water on her. She was standing next to me on fire.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Pinkham is suing her former friend and roommate, Chandra Crawford, because Chandra and her fiancé kicked her out of their apartment. Chandra and Tom say Catherine violated the terms of the lease.
All right, so far I have $1,350 for security deposit. What else are you suing for? Because the total lawsuit is $1,700.
Okay, I'm also suing for moving expenses for the truck that I had to rent the second day when I went back to get my things.
How much was that?
That's $153. Mm-hmm. And then another $153
for what?
Storage.
What storage?
I had to get a
for
storage
what?
unit to put my things in. I was afraid they were going to be trashed, so I went back the following day with the police to get my things.
All right, Miss Crawford, first of all, where is Dream Boy?
Your Honor?
Where is he?
He's at work.
Got a job?
Yes, ma'am.
When did he get a job?
He was employed the day after she left. She left on a Sunday. He went to work that Monday.
Did he send her any money?
The arrangements to pay her back was between her and I.
So did you send her any money?
I tried to contact her, Your Honor. She never returned my phone calls. She never, after September 29th was the last time I spoke to her on the phone when she called me at work. I said, call me next week, I will make arrangements. She never bothered calling me back. She never left me a forwarding address. I tried on 3 separate occasions.
Did you feel badly about it?
Yeah, I felt horrible. We were best friends for 8 years. I mean, honestly, I really did not know this was going to happen.
Let me ask you this question. Tom clearly, when she was living there, was not employed and was home a good deal of the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long was it that he wasn't employed full-time, that you were supporting him?
Your Honor, I wasn't supporting him.
Who was?
He had part-time work.
Not when she was
there. It was about
there.
3 months total.
So it was about 3 months.
I was not supporting him. He was drawing off his savings.
So he had savings?
Yeah.
So why didn't he put in the money for his share of the security deposit from his savings instead of asking a stranger for it?
I asked her for it, Your Honor, because we were friends.
But that's not fair. If you have a boyfriend who's got savings, why should you ask her to dip into her meager savings to pay for him? Did you know that Tom had savings?
I did not know that.
Did Tom know that you asked her for money?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
How old is he?
26.
Does he have children?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
How many?
2.
How did I know that? Do you have children?
No, I don't.
How old are you?
28.
Mm-hmm. Where are Tom's children?
His wife and he have joint custody. They're with their mother most of the time.
Was he sending support for his children?
Yes, he was.
When he wasn't working?
Yes, he was. He was drawing it out of his savings.
I don't believe that. Miss Crawford, how long have you been with Tom?
About 6 months.
Keep your eyes open.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, there is no question. I believe her that you threw her out of the house. According to your own answer, you pretty much say, I had to make a choice. Tom or her. I mean, you go through a lot of things here when you say, well, she didn't follow the rules and everything else. But I think that you know that you owe her this money. It's clear to me that your boyfriend clearly didn't like sharing his home with someone who was disapproving of the way he was behaving, especially the way he was treating you. You probably did things that irritated Tom, and that he's had a sense from the way you were acting that you were disapproving. So I can understand him not particularly liking you.
So can I.
But you can't throw her out of the house. You made that choice, so now you got to pay her. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount requested in the complaint, which is $1,782. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The night they threw me out, she let him call me every name in the book, treat me like a total and all she could do was stand there and let him abuse me after 8 years of friendship. She totally destroyed it. It made me feel horrible. It breaks my heart, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's over, and I don't care to ever see her again.
I wouldn't pour water on her. She was standing next to me on fire.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
He imported a mail-order bride.
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
But her phone calls made him broke.
Your child bride called her mother a lot. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
That's true. Even taking the phone off the line.
You married a baby.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Lowe versus Lowe. Step forward, please.
45-year-old Thomas Lowe says he met his 23-year-old Filipino wife, Arlene Rowe, when he answered an ad in an international dating magazine. Thomas says when his new bride came to live with him in the United States, she charged a fortune in long-distance phone calls back to the Philippines. The marriage ended in divorce, and now he wants her to pay the phone bill.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is number 173 on the calendar in the matter of Lowe versus Lowe. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This is your former wife.
Yes.
And while usually the background of a couple's courtship, etc., is usually not germane to the issues of the case, I think that in this case it is. How did you meet your wife, sir?
Through correspondence. A friend of mine told me that about it. He hadn't met a wife overseas, and I tried it myself, and I wrote to Arlene, and she wrote back to me.
How did you get her name to write to her?
It was through a magazine that this gentleman informed me of. His name was Cherry Blossoms, and I wrote to her there, several other ladies too.
Did you advertise in this magazine?
My friend advertised me in there.
Your friend advertised for you? Okay. So you began to correspond, and then what happened?
She said she was about to go overseas to take a job, and at that particular time, we had been corresponding for a year. And
Where was she living at the time?
In the Philippines.
And I told her I was going to come to see her and not to go, that I asked her to marry me, and she agreed.
This was before you met her?
We had been corresponding. I told her I was going to go see her,
But before you met her, you told her that you wanted to marry him?
Yes, and that's why I was going to the Philippines to see her.
You wanted to marry him?
Yeah, but before he told me about that, I was supposed to have like my visa is already ready. Then I told him I have to go because I have my responsibility for my sister. So he told me, and he called to my mom, and he talked to my dad. Then he told to my dad that tell him not to go. I will be responsible for all his responsibility.
For all of your
my visa
expenses.
is ready already. Then he told me to not to go.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
How old was she when you began this correspondence, Mr. Lowe?
I do believe she was 20.
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
Oh, yes, I wrote and told her so. And she wrote back and told me no, she wasn't.
Well, you should have been older and wiser, sir.
Yes.
Because the thrust of your complaint is that while you're divorced now, she ran up phone bills in the amount of $3,400 to her mother.
Yes.
But he used my mom. Before that, he told to my mom and my sister because he's working with him.
You mean your family was working with him?
Yeah, they're working with him.
What kind
so
of
that's
work?
Why, because they have a correspondence. We have correspondence businesses. Then, my mom was the one who's handling his business in the Philippines.
What kind of business?
It's like correspondence services.
Correspondence services?
Yes,
what kind of correspondence services?
It's called Romance International.
What?
It's called Romance International. I developed my own service and run it on the internet.
Romance International?
Yes, run it on the internet. But, Your Honor, I did not call them for that. I sent them the pamphlets and everything in the mail.
But he told me it's okay to call to my mom. And you accept not only my mom, you accept the collect calls from your agent that I talk to them.
Miss Lowe, did you talk to your mother a lot?
Yeah, I talked to my mom.
Did you talk to her for a long time?
No.
When you would call her or when she would call you collect to talk to you, just stay on the phone for a half hour? Sometimes longer?
Yeah. If I talk to him, if I talk to my mom, he talked to...
But mostly you talk to her?
Yes.
What happened when you started to get these big phone bills? Did he complain?
Yeah, he told me, but I paid for the phone bill when I started working. Then he told me I didn't pay for it. The first salary that I got from here, I pay for his phone bill. But he don't give me any money.
Mr. Lowe.
Yes.
What makes you think that I should order her to pay you money for this phone bill?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, she agreed when I was first initially going to take the phone out to pay for just the international phone calls. I didn't ask her to pay for anything else, just her phone calls and calls she made to the psychic for $195. That was all she was supposed to pay for. I gave her money every week, which I have records of, that went to the bank, which was taken out in the Philippines. So money was given to them every week for her responsibility, even when I was not married to her. When she agreed to marry me, I took care of her responsibilities in the Philippines. But in order to keep the phone on, she promised to pay just the international phone bills. That's all I asked. She never had to pay any other bills at the house.
Okay, so she didn't. So you got a divorce?
Yes. Well, no, the problem with the divorce was I wanted to move to Brentwood, and Mother told her no, she couldn't move to Brentwood with me, and she had to work her $4.25 an hour job. I was trying to get her a job paying $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I was ready to send her to school. I had taken out a $28,000 loan to take her to school, and the mother told her she couldn't go to school. She had to work.
No, my mom didn't told that. You want me to send to school. Then, when they interview me, then they told me I have to study three years to pay $38,000. But you told them that, okay, after you finish your school, you're gonna pay me. I have to pay that for the rest of my life for $38,000.
So what you did you tell her that she was going to have to pay back the tuition?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lowe.
The whole thing was I would have taken out the loan for the thing, and I was very willing to do that.
Mr. Lowe, you married a baby.
Your Honor, when I first married her, she did not strike me as a baby.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
In my untrained eyes, sir, this looks like a May-December romance.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that expression?
Yes.
And sometimes men marry women and they're very extravagant. They go out and they spend all their husband's money on jewelry and furs and manicures and pedicures and hats. Do women still buy hats? No.
Yeah,
No.
they do.
Your child bride called her mother a lot.
No, her mother called her.
Or her mother called her a lot. Because she evidently needed to talk to her family, very far away from her family. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
No, Your Honor, the reason they called was because her family kept getting into financial problems.
But you know that. You already know all my responsibilities.
Listen, Miss Lowe, I gather from your answer that you feel as if you have a very strong responsibility to family, even your family in the Philippines. What's supposed to happen when you get married is you're not supposed to necessarily lose that allegiance to your family, but you and your husband create your own unit. You have a mother in the Philippines, you have a father in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Yes? You have sisters?
Yes.
You have brothers?
Yes.
They're supposed to take care of themselves. That's not his responsibility.
Yeah, he told me that's not his responsibility.
It's not. And it's not your responsibility. You're a baby, 20 years old. You got a mother, your father, brothers, sisters, everybody else in the Philippines. All of a sudden, because you got married, you married somebody who maybe had an extra couple of bucks, that doesn't make your family in the Philippines your financial responsibility. When you're married, this is your financial responsibility, but you're not married anymore. I'm just telling you that for the future, because otherwise you're going to be a very unhappy lady the next time you get married. You can't.
I didn't tell him to responsibility for my family. I told him I have to send my sister on school, so that's my responsibility.
Why do you have to send your sister to school?
Because I'm the second to the eldest.
And what about your mother and father?
They work a lot for my brothers and sisters. And like that time, my father are sick, so I have to go to work.
So
and
what
like
you're
he
telling
knows
me
all of that.
So what you're telling me is, that you had to work here and send money back to your family in the Philippines? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I came here, I asked to his wife, to be his wife. I came here 6 months. I worked for him. In American Embassy, he told that even I came here, I still receive any salary from his business, but I don't get any single penny. He gave me $10, $20. The first time he gave me is $20. And the last one before we leave, he gave me only $10. And like he told me, I always stay in the house. I work for him, I work for his business. I only sleep for 4 hours to work in his business. Then like, I don't get anything. I work, I clean the house, I do everything. And like I told him, he have 1 week salary for $1,000 or $2,000. Then I work for 2 weeks to $200, $300. But I give him all my first salary. So I told him, did I ask you any money from your salary? I didn't even touch your money. Even we have joint account.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
Mr. Lowe, you made a mistake.
Yes.
I believe that your former wife probably made a mistake. Is it your intention to go back to the Philippines? Or are you going to stay here in the United States?
I have to move on to my life. That's all I want.
So what do you want to do? Where do you want to live?
I have to settle all my problem here.
What kind of problems do you have here, Miss Lowe? Other than this one is I'm going to make a non-problem for you. What other problems do you have?
About the status I have
You
in
mean
this.
your visa status?
Yes, Mom.
Do you want to stay in the United States or do you want to go home to the Philippines?
I don't know if I can survive. Maybe I'll survive because I work for 2 jobs. I work 7 days.
You
and
work
I
two jobs now?
Yes, Mom.
You send money home to your family?
Sometimes. But I have to settle all my bills.
What other bills do you have?
I have to pay for my lawyer.
Which
I
lawyer?
have to pay for my car and my insurance.
What lawyer do you have to pay for?
For my case.
You mean for your immigration case?
Yes, Mom.
Are you okay financially, Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You think
well, actually, no, Your Honor. I've got, from our marriage, we've got major bills. We've got about $24,000 in back debt.
For what?
Some of it, a lot of it is mine. Then there's $9,000 between the tax stuff that I put off to help her family when I gave her money to help her family, $3,000, and put off paying taxes that I was supposed to pay the taxes
That's
with.
your problem. That's your problem.
Yes.
Mr. Lowe. I don't think she would, except for her phone bills, I don't think she was a very expensive lady to keep. Right?
No, Your Honor. I paid her a salary every week, and the records show I was putting $180 to $200 a week for her to send back home, and I have records for that.
Did you send back that money home?
No, because he owed my mom's money. Because when he sent some money from me, he told me that's my allowance as his wife. But I spent that money on his business. I told him about that.
Mr. Lowe, who initiated the divorce proceedings here in California?
She left the house, so I tried to reconcile with her. I initiated the divorce proceedings.
You got it. See how fast he's a quick study. And did you have anything in the divorce proceedings about this $3,400 debt?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
She
what
agreed
was
to
that?
pay for it. It's
Where-
a marital agreement.
Do you have that in writing?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
This is the one.
Oh, she has it.
Oh, jeez.
When he gave that papers, he already signed the papers. Then the one that he told that to sign it, and I bring it to my lawyer, the second agreement.
What
because he
second
changed the agreement that it says $3,400 to pay for 30 days. Then he want me to sign that papers.
Just a second. Is there another paper?
Yeah, we
That,
have
Your Honor,
another.
because of the first, we had the first original marriage agreement, and it wasn't notarized. That's why I have to come here now. And because it wasn't notarized, I had to get a second agreement done. I took that to her job. She said she had to go see her lawyer again with that. She never came back with that. We were forced to use the first agreement.
Let me see your judgment of divorce, sir.
This one.
She has it.
I want to see if it refers to the settlement agreement. Oh.
The first agreement wasn't notarized, Your Honor. That's why they could not use that agreement in the court. That's why I had to come to small claims court, because it wasn't notarized before the first of the year.
But Mr. Lowe, you have to understand something, sir. I like to see the right thing happen at the end of a case because that's what I think that's supposed to happen in court. And if you show me an agreement and you say it's incorporated in your judgment to divorce, I have no choice, and I've explained that to your wife. I have no choice but to give you your judgment for $3,400, even though I don't feel good about it. I don't think she's, I don't think she's stupid, but I think that she was vulnerable, certainly more vulnerable than you are. So I feel sort of badly about having to make a judgment against her for $3,400, considering that she works 2 jobs and trying to maintain herself and send money home for her sister to go to school. I mean, that's hard. But now I have an out. Whew.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You say here, sir, we have no community assets or liabilities.
The second, yeah.
That's what it says here.
Community assets liability, yes.
That's what it says. You have no community assets or liabilities.
That was before, when we first signed that agreement, that was before all the taxes came. So that's when we tried to make the second agreement.
This is dated November 7th.
Yes.
This is dated in October.
Yes, I could not use the first one.
You can't use it?
That's because it wasn't notarized.
So it wasn't notarized, so what am I supposed to do?
That's why when I went to court, the judge said if I wanted to settle this, I had to then take her to small claims court.
Okay, so now, so it's not part of the judgment to divorce, so I'm not bound by another court's ruling.
No,
that
you're
it's
not.
part of another, all right, then that's very easy. Mr. Lowe, your wife is 23 years old?
Yes, Mom.
You're 45 years old, you're a man of the world. She's not. She was extravagant in the way she made phone calls. You have money, not a lot, probably, but certainly more than she does.
Yeah,
That'd be a fair statement? I'm not going to burden her with another debt of $3,400. This case is dismissed.
All right, excuse, you may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
It's terrible. My sex is terrible, and I don't have experience on bed. That's why.
Told her I would take her to see doctors if she wanted to talk to them with counseling. I had a Filipino sex therapist that was on the internet that I also had her in contact with. I did everything possible to help her overcome that part of her not knowing, being that familiar with what was supposed to be going on in the bedroom. I was very patient with her with that. I figured we had plenty of time. After all, we're both Catholic. We had married in the church. I figured we had plenty of time to solve that.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time. Not only 1 year, 2 years, but because I never had sex with anyone. If I have, maybe I'll be good, but I'm not. He already destroyed my life.
She lunges at me, bites me on my arm.
When they met, they both got tattoos to prove their love was forever.
She spits on the back of my head.
And he started strangling me, threatening to kill me and him.
That's not true, Your Honor, at all.
She was very quiet when you were talking, Richard.
Because I was telling the truth,
No.
Your Honor.
Now that it's over, he wants her to pay to have his tattoo removed.
You got it off your chest?
Yep.
Good.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judy Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Party's on. Fitzgerald versus Les Savoy. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Scott Fitzgerald says he got his girlfriend's name tattooed on his arm when they fell in love. Now Nicole Le Savoy is Scott's ex-girlfriend, and he wants her to pay to have the tattoo removed.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is number 120 on the calendar in the matter of Fitzgerald versus Les Savoy. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This lawsuit has a lot of parts, so I'm going to try to simplify it. You've known the defendant and dated since you were teenagers, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
How old are you now?
23.
22.
And now you're not together anymore.
No.
You claim that the defendant owes you money for several things.
Yes.
Let's take the simple ones first.
Okay.
The car.
The rental car.
Right.
Yes.
Tell me what she owes you for the rental car and how you came to lend her the money for this rental car.
Okay, she owes me total of $2,081.72. This came from charges on my credit card. She was in an accident. Her insurance didn't cover her rent-a-car. There was a dispute between who was at fault. The last I knew, it was still disputing. This happened, I believe, the end of November. Her parents wouldn't help her out with the car. Her dad has 2 cars, wouldn't loan her one. She had to get to work, other things.
And you put it on your credit card?
I told her that I have a credit card that she can use. However, I had just bought a house and money was kind of tight, so I asked her that when the minimum payments came in, she would make those payments. She agreed, everything was fine. Went down there, left the card.
Did she ever make payments on the card?
Never.
You owe him this money?
Yes, I do.
All right, you seem to acknowledge that you owe him this money in your answer.
Yes.
And that bill is $2,081.72.
Yes.
You acknowledge that that's the amount?
Yes.
You spent a lot of his money, so that's so far we have that amount. Let's keep tabs on this. Okay. The next thing you're suing her for is for damage caused to your property.
Yes.
Tell me about this damage, when it was caused, sir.
Well, it's hard for me to think of the exact date that it started, so if I can go with this. We broke up in the beginning of March. Throughout the next about 2.5 months, we were talking, trying to work things out. There was times where she didn't want anything to do with me. There was times where I didn't want anything to do with her. We would start to argue and get upset. It always happened at my house, the conversations, and you know, when I would be done with it and I would ask her to leave, I would tell her to leave. She wouldn't leave. I would begin to get stronger with telling her to leave. There was many nights where I would lock her out of my house because I didn't want to talk to her anymore. She would kick my door in, my front door, kick the panels through. She became very insultive to my roommates. Every time she would leave, she would run through my wrought iron gate and slam it so hard that it would bend through past the stopping point. There was one night where her and I were supposed to go to the lake early in the morning. We began fighting throughout that evening. And when I say early in the morning, we were leaving at 5 to meet with a friend. At about 3 o'clock, we started arguing, fighting. I told her, look, you're not going to go with me to the lake today. I'm going. Let's cool off. She didn't like that, wouldn't let me leave. She became physically abusive, with not letting me leave. I managed to make it into my car by tricking her, going around to the passenger side, crawling over. As I'm doing this, she's standing there kicking my car door. Then I go to leave, drive about 2.5 miles to my friend's house that I was meeting at 5. She follows me the whole way, stops in the gas station behind me. More abuse, more insults. I just get in my car and take off, spilling gas all over the back of my car. I get to my friend's house. She follows me up that driveway. It's about 5:15 in the morning, might even have been earlier. She's yelling, waking up his neighbors. His neighbors are reaching out their window, asking us to keep it down. I finally agree because I feel really bad that it's in my friend's house and my friend's neighbors are getting upset. I go out to the street with her. I'm talking with her. Finally, she leaves. There's been many cases. She's insulted my roommates. I'm
not interested in her insulting your roommates.
Okay.
I'm not even interested in her insulting
Okay,
you. You're not going to get compensated for it, sir.
Right.
And the fact is that you told me that she was invited over to your house frequently, and each time you said she came over, she slammed the wrought iron gate. Then, well, if she keeps doing that, then you stop inviting her over. You didn't expect me to...
I understand.
You didn't expect her to pay for that.
No, I don't.
And you
that
didn't
was
expect
my
her to pay for
foolishness.
Of course it was.
However, what I do expect her to
Then
pay...
let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
Because I have other things to
understand.
do today.
The main instance that I'm concerned with was there was 2 different times where she kicked in my door because I didn't want to talk to her and I asked her to go home and she wouldn't. The main night was the night that it was about 3:30 in the morning. I was on the phone talking to somebody that I had met a few nights before. We were out at a club. I asked her to call me when she got home, make sure she was all right. Nikki called my house once, hung up, called again, said I love you, hung up, called again, who are you talking to? I said a friend. Whatever, I don't want to talk to you, I hang up on her. She drives to my house, it's like 3:34 in the morning, drives to my house, I hear her car pull up, I go outside, she appears to be calm. She starts interrogating me about this girl, and when I'm answering, she spits on the back of my head. I get up, look at her, and say, go home, I'm going inside. She goes to my front door first. I didn't know what she was doing at this time. Later, I find out that when she went to the door, she flicked a cigarette in my house. Because about 15 minutes later, when her and I both make our way into the living room talking, and she says to me, you don't care about me, well, look how much I care about you, and points to my couch, which I have pictures of. The cigarette festered the hole.
Your Honor?
When I tell her to leave, she runs to the TV that she bought for me for Christmas, slams the TV against the wall, knocks the cable box off the wall, causing a dent in the wall, of which I also have pictures of. That's the cigarette burning the couch. That's the whole couch. When she hears me talking on the phone with the police, she lunges at me, bites me on my arm, of which I also have pictures of.
Would you like to also include that you were grabbing me and that a week before you would beat me? I have a police report to report that.
Just a minute, that's not, the truth of the matter is that may be relevant in some other proceeding, but it's not relevant to this proceeding. You're not suing him for that.
So, when she hears me dial the phone, she lunges at me and bites on my arm. As soon as she hears me talking with the cops, she realizes I'm telling the truth because I had threatened many times before, but to be honest with you, Your Honor, the reason why this went on for so long is because I felt like a wimp calling the cops for a girl.
Is this these pictures of your arm, sir, to show me a bite?
Yes, would you like me to point it out?
Yeah, but you're not suing for this, sir. You're not suing for assault. No. So, I mean, although this is terrible, I don't have to look at it.
So, as soon as she hears me talking with the police officers, she runs out of my house, knocking over a chair on my porch, running through the gate, slamming it past the breaker point. I do have a picture of that also. And the last thing that I remember her saying to me are, oh, by the way, I'm Rob, a guy that she works with.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Guess what? It took me a nice 3 days to get over you.
It took me less than that, Nikki. I just had to wake up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott Fitzgerald says when his girlfriend Nicole broke up with him, she left behind numerous unpaid bills.
Now, the last thing that you're suing her for is tattoo removal.
Yeah.
That I'm sure you want to tell me about.
Yes, I think I need to because it sounds funny.
It sure does, so let me hear.
Okay, we started dating back in 3.5 years ago. Okay, about 2 months after we began dating, she put "I love Scott" tattooed right here on her stomach. Okay. The night at the tattoo studio...
First mistake.
Actually, it wasn't 2 months.
Well, maybe it was
2 months,
3 or 4.
6 months, 20 years, it's always a mistake.
The night at the tattoo studio, she looked at me and said, okay, it's your turn. I wasn't about to do that. For the next 3 years, not that often, but every 6 months or so, every couple months, she'd throw in a little comment about, oh, I have your name tattooed on me, go get my name tattooed on you. Constant things. Okay, back then, I loved this girl incredibly, and I honestly thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with her. So, yeah, I chose to go and get the tattoo put on me because of her, all right? Since then, with all the changes, now I would not have done that either unless she had been constantly bringing it back up. So I did it. Tattoo said, always loving my little Nikki.
Always loving my
little Nikki. Now, since her change in attitude caused my change in feelings about wanting to spend the rest of my life with her, it might sound ludicrous, Your Honor, but I can't help feeling that because of her change in feelings, it changed my change in feelings. I can't help but feeling that she's partly responsible for having that tattoo removed.
Okay, so you told me.
Yeah.
You got it off your chest?
Yep.
Got it off your chest? Good.
Actually, off my arm.
Okay. Miss Savoy, the thing that I want you to address first is this incident where you clearly burned his sofa with your cigarette.
I did throw the cigarette on his couch.
Why? It's 3:30 in the morning. You call your old boyfriend. You find him on the phone with somebody else. You're annoyed. You get into your car, 3:30 in the morning. Big mistake. First mistake was the tattoo you put on yourself. I'm sure there were others in between, but you were angry, you got into your car, and you went over there. So tell me your version of what happened.
I was upset with him. About a week before I threw the cigarette on this couch, we got into a really big fight. We were supposed to go out, and he got angry about a joke I made about his car or something. So I was going to leave. He slammed the door as I was opening it and strangled me.
That's not true, Your Honor, at all.
She was very quiet when you were talking, Richard.
Because I was telling the truth,
No,
Your
no,
Honor.
just a second.
I'm
She
telling
was
the truth.
very quiet when you were talking. Go ahead.
He grabbed me in his arm right in here, and he dragged me through the hall and flipped me on his bed and got on top of me, and he started strangling me, threatening to kill me and him. And every time I would try to scream, but nobody was home, I was trying to get his neighbor's attention.
This was a week before the cigarette.
Mm-hmm. He attacked me like that, and then I threw the cigarette on him, on his couch, because I was upset.
Just a second. Did you throw this cigarette on his couch then, or
Yeah.
this 3:30 in the morning incident?
3:30 in the morning.
That was a week later.
Yeah.
Just a second. Are you a smart girl?
Yes.
A guy grabs you, puts you in a chokehold, assaults you, and according to you, A week later, you went to his house at 3:30 in the morning. Does that sound stupid?
Yeah.
So you got there 3:30 in the morning, and what did you do?
Well, we were trying to work things out, and he said that he was just apologizing, and he wanted us to get back together. And then that night that he tells me he's on the phone with some girl, yeah, it really upset me. So I went over there, and I shouldn't have.
He apologized for what happened a week before, and then you found that he was on the phone with somebody else. So you damaged his sofa, right?
Yeah, but he's making a much bigger deal out of it. It's not like his friends haven't destroyed it anyway.
Well, I mean,
I know I made a hole in his couch.
It doesn't look like it came from some boutique collection in the most expensive
And
sofa store.
Stains can be cleaned off.
You may just have to live with this little cigarette hole in your sofa, sir, and the tattoo on your arm. Do you understand? This was a long-term relationship. It clearly has ended, I assume.
Yes.
Now, not very difficult. You have a countersuit. Your countersuit is for all your belongings that are at his house. You say he refuses to give you his belongings. Have you gotten them back?
No.
What do you have at his house?
I have all my dishes, all my furniture, like 10 boxes of personal belongings, books, clothes, a dresser, basically everything I have.
And you acknowledge that all that is in your house, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been living for 6 months without anything, no furniture, nothing.
All right.
I can't make a meal at home, nothing. And he says that we have an agreement, which is not even true. He did not tell me that he was going to keep my things till I paid him back. He did not ever say that. He said that when he got upset with me one day.
All right, well, when you're in love, everything is wonderful. When you break up, nothing is wonderful.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You said you were going to give me my as soon as I had a place. You are so...
Not true.
Oh, my God. I don't even believe I went out with you. You are such a loser.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Scott Fitzgerald says when his girlfriend Nicole broke up with him, she left behind numerous unpaid bills.
You clearly owed him $2,081.72, an amount that you acknowledge was put on his credit card, and it was a loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pay him that. As far as the damage, sir, all the damage and all the things that you told me she broke, deal with it. Deal with it. The relationship is over, and the only damage that I saw, quite frankly, is a cigarette hole to a very old, battered sofa.
Okay.
Now, you can have it mended, you can turn over the cushion, you can do a lot of things so that you don't have to look at it. I'm certainly not giving you $500 to $1,000 for a new sofa. If you want $25 to have a weaver come in to see if they can fix up the hole, I would consider that. But as far as $500 to $1,000 for a new sofa, forget about it. And as far as having your tattoo removed, that's your stupidity. Again, you deal with it. Now, let's get to her things.
One more thing on that note, Your Honor, please. The car door, have you addressed that? I have an estimate for that.
Did you bang in his car door?
She kicked it in.
Did you kick in his car door?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was being a jerk like he always is.
Give me the estimate.
Your Honor, he's making me out to be the bad guy here, like I'm the abusive one. He's always abused me throughout the entire relationship, kicked in apartment doors, car doors, everything. Beat me a few times.
That's not true.
That is true. You are totally lying right now, and you know
then,
it.
Miss Savoy, listen to me.
Yes, you have.
Hey.
A few times? Beat you, even once?
Then you were foolish for sticking around, and you were foolish to go over there 3:30 in the morning to try to get him back. Do you understand?
You're right, and I'm gone
Good.
now.
So, then it's a good lesson. All right, so what is this whole thing? Install labor, tint glass, rear door handle. She did all this damage?
Well, what's listed on there is not the damage. What they have to do when they do an invoice, they have to break it down for everything they have to do in order to fix it and give an actual time quote on how long that takes. She kicked in my door, so what they have to do is they have to break down the time.
Which door? I have front door, rear
My
door.
Passenger, which would be the right front door. So what that breaks down is removing the moldings, removing the door handle, painting
Yeah, but it says I have a rear door here, rear upper window molding, rear door handle. What does that have to do
No,
with
I think
the front
it's right.
door?
I think what is
Right rear. I have right rear, right front. Looks like they fixed the whole side of a car, not just one door. Take a look.
If
what it
I
says.
can look at it, I'll tell you.
Sure.
What that is that says refinish and blend, because there's going to be new paint on that one door. It's not an old car, Your Honor. It's a '92 Ford Explorer, and I don't plan to keep it forever. When I go to sell it, they're going to see that that door's been repainted, and I'm not going to get as much money for it. Why do I have to lose that? So what they have to do is they have to blend the paint on the back door, since it's next to it, as well as the paint on the front fender.
All right, let me see it.
It says over here on the second column under labor type, it says refinish and blend.
Okay. Temper. Okay. When could she have all of her property?
As soon as I get my money.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Okay. When could she have all of her property?
As soon as I get my money.
Well, you're going to get your money. $2,573 is what you're going to get. And that gives you $25 to have somebody come in and weave out this cigarette hole. So you're going to get your money. You want to do this exchange within 3 days?
I can't do it within 3 days. I'm working.
I'd like it.
Why not?
3 days.
Because I'm working, Your Honor.
When can you do it, sir?
To be honest with you, I'm having my house is being remodeled inside right now, and everything is like torn apart.
Money's
so,
tight.
So I can get it by not this weekend coming up, but the next weekend. I'm off that Saturday and Sunday, and I can spend those whole 2 days going through my house, everything that belongs to her.
Okay. Furniture?
There's very minimal furniture. There's a table and some chairs, as well as a mirror and a nightstand. And I think that's it for furniture. The rest of it's appliances.
What kind of appliances?
There's a microwave, coffee grinder, coffee machine, a blender, a toaster oven.
Where are you living now, sir?
I live in Burbank.
Are you living in the house while it's being remodeled?
Yes. But everything that was in my living room, bedroom, and office and hallway has been pushed into my kitchen. You can't even walk through there because I had the hardwood floors refinished.
Okay. A week from Saturday, make arrangements to pick up all your things. Do you understand?
No, Your Honor, I have a restraining order out on her. She can't come to my house, but I've already said that I'm more than willing to pay for a delivery company to pick everything up from my house.
Good. A week from Saturday, deliver it.
Okay.
Your
Okay?
Honor?
There, what?
I would like to go up there with a cop so I can get my things because I don't trust him to give me all my things back.
He's going to give you all your things back.
I don't believe he will.
Just a second. I can't. You have a restraining order. Is that right? He just said that there's a restraining order against you. Is that
Can
correct?
I send one of my friends over there?
No, he's going to sit. I don't want to create any more difficulty. I assume he does not either. If he's gone so far as to get a restraining order against you, Miss LeSavoy, I assume he doesn't want you to come again. I assume that if there's any item that is questionable,
I don't want
you'll
any.
use the smart thing, do the smart thing, pack it up and send it over. Good. Thank you very much. That's all.
Step out.
On the next Judge Judy.
That's why I took out a restraining order.
Well, that's why I changed my number, moved, and changed my pager number,
Cool,
so
then stop calling my parents, because that ain't gonna get me back.
I don't want you back. Trust me, I'm happy.
She contracted for space in a beauty salon, not hair, nails, and redemption.
The manicurist says she quit her lease at a beauty parlor because the owner turned it into a shopfront church for gangsters and outcasts.
I signed a contract going into a salon, not a church.
I also was asked to leave.
Why?
Because I was an evil spirit.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Villa versus Casares. Step forward, please.
Beauty salon owner Jill Villa claims her manicurist Erica Casares quit before her one-year lease was up. Erica says Jill turned the salon into a shopfront church for gangsters.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is number 103 on the calendar in the matter of Villa versus Casares. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Villa, you have a beauty salon, and according to your complaint, you rent space in that beauty salon to independent contractors.
Right.
such as the defendant, who is a nail specialist.
Look nice.
You rented her space in your salon at the rate of $200 a month, is that right?
Right.
You say that she, and it was a 3-year lease.
It was a 1-year lease.
It was a 1-year lease.
Mm-hmm.
1-year lease. You say that she left after a relatively short period of time. She owes you somewhere over $2,000 for rent.
Right.
You say she left. She says that she was asked to leave. So, tell me first about this establishment and how it works.
Okay. I have a salon. I do hair. I have 4 stations. I have pictures of those. And I have 1 space for nails.
And what's the financial arrangement that you have?
Basically, they just rent that space from me, and they take care of their insurance, their taxes, everything that to run a business.
Okay, how did you find each other?
I went into a beauty supply store. I saw her nails. She does great nails, and I was looking for a nail technician at the time, and I asked her if she would be interested in booth renting a space for me. And she came in and signed a lease and rented for 1 year, and then in December of, before her year lease was up, in December of '96, I asked her if she would want to sign another lease.
For another year?
Right.
Oh, I see. Okay, when did she leave?
She left in May 14th. So she stayed her whole year. Now her new lease would have started May through May of '98, and that's the signed one that she has.
Well, tell me your version of what the events were surrounding her leaving and breaking the second
Actually, Your Honor,
year's
they
lease.
were very confusing. I had a staff meeting where I had 2 hair stations available, and I hired 2 hairdressers. So I had a staff meeting with 1 hairstylist and Erica, letting them know that there would be 2 hairstylists starting at Making Waves.
Making Waves is the name of your shop.
Right. Her reaction was very rude. She was obnoxious.
Well,
and
that's your interpretation of her actions. What did she say? What did she do?
She said, "I will not work with white women. I'm prejudiced, and I do not like change." And I have a witness to that who heard that. I have 2.
And so what did you say to her?
I said, you haven't even worked with them 1 day. How can you say you're prejudiced against these girls? I just don't like them.
Okay, first of all, when I signed a contract going into a salon, not a church. And that's exactly what the salon turned into.
Explain that to me.
Well, she got religious, which is fine, that's her business. And she had the pastor there all the time.
Who's the pastor?
Right over there.
And what were they doing?
Running their church out of the salon.
What does that mean, running their church out?
That's not true.
What does that mean, running their church out of the salon?
They had their own phone line in there. The pastor was always there. The men's home, which is these men that they're trying to, from prison, that they're trying to turn over, I don't know, to make them better men, I guess, were always there. Okay, these are men that have been in prison for really bad crimes.
So they were coming into the salon.
Right. So when I have a client sitting there, they're seeing this man there with all these tattoos on his neck, all these men. They don't want to be there. They're uncomfortable. My clients come in to get their nails done, not to be preached to. And what they do is preach God to my clients. My clients did not want to hear about God.
While they were having their nails done?
Yes, they have.
Step up here, sir.
And Jennifer's witness to that.
Get to you in a minute. Tell me your name.
Robert Dominguez.
Mr. Dominguez, when did you become involved with this salon?
When Jill and her husband first started coming to our church, and
when was that?
That was in '96. Jill had offered me a corner there to have a phone there so that I can do business and make contact with people for the crusade that we were organizing.
Tell me about the crusade.
What a crusade is there is we reach out to the gang members, the drug addicts, those that are considered outcasts of society. And during that time, since we were just beginning there in that city, and finances at the time were very, very short, so Jill had offered me a corner. She offered me to that I could put a phone there. And from that point on, one thing I need to make clear is I don't force the gospel on anybody. people ask me, and I in turn respond.
Sir, I am correct, therefore, that when you say you reach out to gang members, you reach out to drug addicts, and you reach out to former prison inmates, you reach out to them and ask them to come in so that you can counsel them. Is that correct?
Witness to them.
Witness to them, counsel them, whatever. And you were doing this witnessing or counseling in this salon.
No, it wasn't. No, not in the salon.
Are you telling me, sir, that you never had any of these people who you were trying to reach come into the salon?
No.
They never did?
No. The men's home were there during the crusade. I wasn't counseling them. I wasn't witnessing to them. They were part of the workforce of helping me organize this crusade.
Mr. Dominguez, maybe we're not understanding each other, sir. Did the people that you were involved with, either people who were reformed and then reaching out, or the people that you were reaching out to, ever come into the salon?
Yes, they did.
That's right. And they came in, you spoke to them, they spoke to each other,
We had conversation.
Did you ever speak to any of the defendant's clients while they were having their nails done or while they were waiting to have their nails done?
When I was asked. When
What
I
do you
was asked either by Erica, or I was either introduced to them, or they would ask me questions once they
That's a
found-
lot of oars. Step up. Who are you?
Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer, how were you involved in this operation?
I also worked at the salon and was asked to leave.
Why?
Because I was an evil spirit.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You changed the establishment from a beauty salon, hair and nails, to a beauty salon, hair, nails, and redemption.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Manicurist Erica Casares says she quit her lease at Jill Villa's beauty salon because Jill turned the place into a church for outcasts.
You were an evil spirit? Who told you that?
Erica.
That's what they stated.
That's not true, Your
Jill
Honor.
stated that to me.
That is not true,
Yes, it
Your
is
Honor.
true.
Just a second.
Can I say why she was dismissed?
Were you a hairstylist?
Mm-hmm. She was dismissed because she came into my shop intoxicated with a male gentleman with her. She was stealing from Erica because Erica kept saying how she's stealing all my nails.
No.
She's stealing all my nails. She was stealing my
stuff is
nail
locked up.
accessories.
Just a second. I really want to find out. Now I know you were a hairstylist. You were either
spirit. Give me a
dismissed or you
break.
left, whatever it is.
Give me a break.
I want you to tell me about
That's a good
this
one, Erica.
group that was running inside the salon in addition to hair and nails.
Okay, she moved the pastor in a desk, so we all had to move stations because there wasn't enough room. It's a very small salon. And then we would talk about God. They play Christian tapes all day, and I think it's great, but you know it shouldn't have been mixed in with our business.
When you say playing Christian tapes all day, you mean over the whatever PA system you had? Instead
That's
of
not true. I had a little radio by my station. Your Honor, both these ladies on their own came to our church. They were part of our church.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
that's
great.
good. That's,
I never.
That's fine because that's where the church
I never
belonged.
heard that there was a problem. I never heard that there was a problem in the salon. Never.
Ms. Casares, I've heard from Ms. Villa about what she recalls of the time that you told her that you were leaving. I'd like you to tell me about the day.
She asked me to leave.
Well, tell me about it.
I just told her I was no longer happy there. You can't tell Jill nothing about the church.
So you told her you were not happy.
Right.
And what, and?
To go back, before I signed the contract, she stated in front of me, Jennifer, and Mary Alice, anytime we were not happy, we were allowed to leave. She was holding nobody to their contract. She had done that before, and she didn't want nobody else to be there that were not happy.
Okay,
So we had a verbal agreement that when we were not happy, we can let her know and we can leave.
Well, let me tell you what the law is. The law is when you sign a contract, and it's a contract for property, you can't go outside that contract for an interpretation. So whatever you sign is what you're bound to. Do you understand?
Yeah, I
that's why
understand
we have contracts, and that's why we have laws surrounding contracts. You call what you're suggesting we call parole evidence, which means evidence that goes outside the four corners of that document. And you can't do that. So I want you to be smart the next time. You don't sign an agreement with the understanding, well, we have a side agreement, which is if you're not happy, you can break this contract, because it doesn't make sense. If that's your agreement, then what do you need a contract for? Right? If your agreement is, if you're not happy, you can leave, then why would she ask you to sign a contract? You understand?
She needed it for books or something.
Baloney. Come on, Ms. Casares. But I'd like you to tell me about this phone conversation that you had. You told her you were leaving because you weren't happy.
Right.
And then she called you on the phone and said, tell me why you're not happy.
I just told her. I said, it's because of the church thing. I can't handle it being in there. I was losing clients. Without clients, I make no money. With no money, I cannot pay rent. That's just, and you can ask her, last month, I was so slow there. And it's because I was losing clients. I have statements here.
I can't read statements.
And then,
statements are not admissible.
Well, after that, she just asked me, when I told her about the church thing, she goes, when can you be out of here? So to me, that was throwing me out by asking me when I could be out of there. So I told her. I turned around, I looked at my husband, I go, when can we go get my stuff? He said, right now. I went and picked up my stuff. I was out of there. That's all the phone conversation was.
When you signed your contract in December, your renewal
I signed my
contract.
contract in February because my contract was up in February.
Okay, so you signed it in February. By the way, can I see it, please? Ms. Casares, listen to me very carefully. You signed this contract December 20th, 1996 is the date you signed it, not February.
Okay, February was when my contract was up, my first one. Then never.
She said it was up in May.
No, my first was up in February.
Just a
Mine
second.
was
No,
up-
no,
mine
no,
was
no.
up in May.
No.
Yours is
Ms.
up in
Casares,
April.
you got to get it straight. You signed this in December. Your first lease was not up until May. This is for a year after that. Now, what I want to know from you is, when for the first time did Mr. Dominguez come into the shop?
Maybe in February or March. February, I don't know. I don't know when he came in.
Did he come in before or after you signed this new lease?
After.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You came in after she signed this lease?
In March of '97.
Okay. Ms. Villa, let me tell you what your problem is, madam.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She ran into my shop and said, guess what? Brian down the street wants me, and he wants me bad.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
I'm not sure, nor will I ever be certain, of the reason that Ms. Casares left, whether you asked her to leave or whether she said, I'm leaving. She contracted for space in a beauty salon, not a beauty salon / mission. After she signed her lease, you changed the establishment from a beauty salon, hair and nails, to a beauty salon, hair, nails, and redemption. You can't do that.
Your Honor.
Listen to me. You changed the rules.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Can I state something, please? When I asked Robert to take some space for the Stop the Violence campaign, which was only going to last a period of 2 months, I sat down with each one of my stylists and we had a staff meeting, and I told them that he would be joining us, and if there was any problem to please let me know now. I didn't see any problem. If I would have seen a problem and heard that they had a problem with it, Your Honor, I would have stopped it immediately.
Let me
They
ask you this
never
question,
once
Ms.
told
Villa.
me.
Did her business drop off?
Her business was skyrocketing. No. All the women in my church came to her to get their nails done.
They didn't pay me.
Yes, they did. I took it off your rent.
Ms. Villa, why do you think she would leave a business where she was making money? I mean, maybe I'm missing
Because she
something.
got a better
if her
deal down
business
the
was
street.
skyrocketing, why would she leave your business?
Because she got a better deal down the street.
What kind of better deal?
The guy, she had come into my shop
okay? She ran into my shop and said, guess what? Brian down the street wants me, and he wants me bad. He said that he will drop my rent, there won't be any contract, and I can go and work for him. Before she left, she was giving out her calling cards with his name on it and number.
Hold it. Did you go to work down the street?
Yeah, it's about a mile away.
Here's his ad.
I needed a place to take my clients to.
And when you went to work down the street, you went to work under the same conditions that you paid for space?
Yes, and it's a salon.
And how much rent did you pay in the space?
The new space? He's charged me $150 now, but it goes up in 6 months to $170. After 6 months, it goes up some more.
So you save yourself at least $50 a month going to him.
Yeah, which I had no problem with finish out my contract with Jill. But once you cannot tell Jill about a church and then her be the same with you. It doesn't work that way.
Well, that's conjecture. You see, now you're coming to conjecture. I was missing something, you see, because you say you had no business. She said you had a lot of business.
No.
Well, Miss Casares, let me suggest this to you, madam. Common sense always plays a very important part in judging. A competitor down the road would not offer you a better deal than you were getting in her place unless you were prepared to bring into that establishment a substantial clientele.
Well, Your Honor.
So you bettered your situation by leaving her. You bettered your situation by leaving her by going to a place where you could have your clients and pay less rent.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
This is a difficult case, and I'm going to tell you why. It's difficult as far as the decision that I make, because, Ms. Villa, you changed the workspace that Ms. Casares contracted for by bringing in this gentleman who ran a different kind of a business within your salon operation. And I believe that that's unfair to do to somebody. And I, quite frankly, can understand why some people who are coming in to have their nails done in what they assume is going to be a predominantly female operation, you know, ladies sitting around having their nails done, etc., having this gentleman there, and a variety of other people who are either in the saving business or trying to be saved. That's disconcerting. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just saying it's not what she bargained for. On the other hand, I'm not really quite satisfied that his presence there was the only reason that you left. I would suggest that one of the reasons that you left was because you got a better deal down the road. Now, it may have been that you were unhappy with this situation there and you felt as if you would be more comfortable elsewhere. I think that you are responsible for part of the rental on that property. I think that if this gentleman being there is not a drawback, you should be able to rent that space in a relatively short period of time. I'm going to give you 5 months' worth of rent. Do you understand?
Yes.
You see to it that you re-rent the space. And if you can't re-rent the space, you better rethink your position about mixing your business with the church. You may want to keep them separately. You know,
They're no longer there.
They're no longer there? Well, that's good.
It was only for 2 months, which
That's good.
they knew.
All right, the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. Thank you, that's all.
Parties are excused, you may step out.
On the next Judge Judy.